is what I like about you. Your perky, pouting lips, oh, put your love on me. Oh, I beg and bribe to get to you, but how much can I pay? Oh, jump on the direct express, let's make it right. Don't be a spoiled brat, baby, get out tonight. Jump on the direct express, let's make it right. Don't be a spoiled brat, baby, get out tonight. Oh, get out tonight. Oh, come on, baby, you know what I want. Jump on the direct express, let's make it right. Don't be a spoiled brat, baby, get out tonight. Jump on the direct express, let's make it right. Don't be a spoiled brat, baby, get out tonight. Ooh, yeah. Shackleton, you know what I want. Oh, I was getting lost in the quicksand. Pink clouds didn't do it to my head. On and on until I bled. Superstitious, kind of vicious. Knock knock on wood. I was getting lost, and before I understood, I was deep, deep down on the bottom of a well. Seagrass was all I found. An alternative hell. No more cookies in this jar. Did I take it too far? Now I dwell in the sand like a fish on land. Like a fish on land. I started to get lost at the station where you left. Everything was falling off. Who am I without this man? Oh, fingers crossed at any cost. Knock, knock on wood. I hope I'm better off. I would kick your ass if I could, but I'm deep, deep down on the bottom of a well. I don't belong, can't you tell? This place must be hell. No more cookies in this jar. Did I take it too far? Now I dwell in the sand like a fish on land. 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 I was getting lost in the quicksand. Pink clouds eating their way into my head. On and on until I bled. Superstitious, kind of vicious. Oh, knock, knock on wood. I was getting lost. And before I understood, I was deep, deep down on the bottom of a well. Seagrass was all I found. An alternative hell. No more cookies in this jar. Did I take it too far? Now I dwell in the sand like a fish on land. But I'm deep, deep down on the bottom of the well. I don't belong, can't you tell? This place must be hell. No more cookies in this jar. Did I take it too far? Now I dwell in the sand like a fish on land.
Today is the beginning of the end and the start of bring you down. In the blink of an eye, you'll realize that there's so much more to the book than the page you were stuck on. Finally, you will be free to live a life you love living instead of the life you think other people want you to live. Remember, you're the highest authority when it comes to knowing what you want and what you love. So stop trading yourself for the approval from others. Ladies and gentlemen, weirdos and geeks, please repeat after me. I don't give a fuck.
Alright, guys. I can't hear a damn thing. I see something going on with that speaker. There's some competition right now. So give me 1 second. Yeah, I have no sound for some reason. Let me, I gotta work through this. Welcome everybody to the show. It is unfortunate for some reason. This last minute I just had some weird issues with my audio. I haven't actually heard it recently. For whatever reason, I have got serious my mic is cutting out bad. I'm trying to fix it, guys. Why would my mic be cutting? It's sort of a complete reboot. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do this. I don't know if that helps anything. It's really weird. I had perfect sound and now I don't. Let me see. may have to reboot my computer. That is, give me 1 second. If the screen should not go down, then I'm going to reboot my computer real quick and see if something just needs to be reset. Give me 1 second. All right, guys, I am back, but unfortunately, I still don't have audio in the studio. I can't hear anything. That's the problem. So give me a second. I'm going to try and work through it. It just shouldn't be anything going on here. Wait, hang on. All right. All right. I don't know if that did anything. I think it's a problem in my Stream Deck, actually. The intermission of an unreasonable man is brought to you by Tactical Soap from the Grondike Soap Company. Wash off boomer funks. You don't have technology problems. Try Tactical Soap today. Yeah, I don't know what the problem is. Um, Stand by. I'll be right back. What the actual fuck? That is working. Maybe it's down here. Guys, I don't know what in the world is going on here, but I have no audio coming out of it. And it should be. It shows that I have output. There's no reason that there is not. Um, Working perfectly. The mic is fine. Shows fine. And I don't know why. I don't get it. Let me try and I don't think we got anything on that one, but let's see. Fuck me. All right, hang on. Let me see. What the fuck? I had audio and now I do not. This shit's scuffed. I have no fucking clue. Stand by. right. Finally, I have sound back. Now I'm back. I guess better late than never. This was fucked up. What's up, Pentuple? I got Pentuple up in the house. How are you, Pentuple?
Hey, all right. What's up? Hold on. I gotta fix this video stuff.
I was fucking around with my damn sound earlier, and I have no fucking clue what happened, but somehow I turned off my speakers here in the studio, so I couldn't hear a damn thing. I couldn't hear the music. I couldn't hear shit.
I did the same thing actually. All my stuff got messed up.
And I don't know whether it was I got to go through, and tomorrow, I guess, well, not tomorrow because tomorrow's Thanksgiving, but maybe Friday morning, I'm going to go through and update everything. I think it's because I've updated a few things, but other things haven't been updated. And it was just really weird. Like all of a sudden it just decided to fucking work. Like I have no idea why.
Yeah. I had to update my camera software. I couldn't get my camera working today. I was out of nowhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it was because I updated my drivers. But hey, what's up? How you doing? How's everything?
It's good, man. It's good. I was supposed to have a different guest tonight twice. I was supposed to have someone come on, and they kind of last minute were like, yeah, it's Thanksgiving. I don't want to do it. And then I had, and then I was trying to get Teeny, who is a Twitch streamer, to come on, and she's got a lot of stuff going on. She just spent 2 weeks out of the country, and now she's just kind of, chilling. And she's like, I don't think I want to come on. I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's legit. And so I was like, man, I was like, well, I'll just do the show by myself, no problem. And our man Gibbsy recommended you. Offered you up.
He loves signing me up for stuff.
Yeah, he's got you, and sometimes he doesn't even bother to tell you he signed you up.
It's true. It's true. But I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to.
Yeah, man.
Do whatever.
It's gonna be cool. So are you now? What are you doing for Thanksgiving, man? Are you like alone out there in Texas? Are you just gonna go like chill out tomorrow, watch all the stuff on TV?
I'm gonna be with my law firm partner. So I'll be with his family. He invited me over graciously, and so I'll go spend it with him. I was going to go fly home for Thanksgiving, but I'm going to be flying home for Christmas and New Year's. And by home, I mean my parents' house.
Right. I got you.
How fresh out of the nest I am.
Yeah.
Still home up there. But yeah, I'll be in Texas, getting my first Texas Thanksgiving.
It's good for you. Builds character.
Yes.
Puts hair on your chest and stuff.
Yeah. So. Yeah, we were reading the first Thanksgiving proclamation earlier. It's a fun read. I recommend it to those chat. Look up the 1676 first Thanksgiving proclamation. It's a fun one.
Yeah.
We really did settle a beef there. We really did settle a beef. We were like, okay, we're done fighting for the most part. There were probably still a few fights after that, but different.
It was later when we really got into the really good fighting out west.
Yeah. Also, it was the first Thanksgiving proclamation was on June 29th. I didn't know that. It wasn't.
I think I did know that. I've always thought it was weird that we, for some reason, I don't think it's actually that weird but it's odd that what we've done is we've taken our harvest celebration and turned it into Thanksgiving.
Right.
And then we moved, a few weeks earlier, we turned Oktoberfest, which was, somebody else's harvest celebration, into our Halloween. It's very, none of our holidays actually mean shit except for July 4th and the Veterans and Memorial Day. Other than that, none of them mean jack shit. They're all arbitrary. Sorry?
Yeah, there's too many.
Yeah, we do have too many. That's for sure.
Yeah. Like, what is President's Day? What is that? Just like presidents are cool, I guess. I mean, yeah,
presidents
pretty cool.
Can be cool.
Yeah,
we can talk about that too. You can talk about how everybody was really all excited about getting Trump in the last couple of weeks, with the Epstein file release, and it hasn't done anything except, honestly, it looks worse for some Democrats and especially people in the UK. It doesn't look so bad for Trump at all.
Yeah, well, also, and I've found this funny that this year a lot, especially Democrats, have gotten. It's not just Democrats, but it's
certainly the majority.
Thanks, Sparky. Thanks for that. I could hear the sarcasm in your text.
No, so hold on. Let me explain for Sparky who just came in, or who just came back in. No, I had two other people planned for that. I have one person who kind of last minute told me, "Hey, I got more shit than I thought I had to do for the Halloween, or for Thanksgiving, and I'm just not going to be able to make it." And I said, "All right, that's cool. I get that. I understand." The second one was kind of like a fill-in, and she's a Twitch streamer, and I thought that'd be a great interview to have today. But she just got back in the country just a couple of days ago, and she's got a ton of stuff to do. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm not going to be like, it's not going to be like a really good show. Yeah, we'll do it another time." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool." And so I was actually just going to do the show. I was just going to stand up. I was just going to get up here and just run my mouth, which is, I'm good at that. But Pentuple came in clutch and jumped up here. We're gonna talk about some good stuff tonight, I'm sure. The thing about Thanksgiving that always kind of resonates with me is how many people who probably should not spend the kind of money that they spend will go out and will literally just go all out for this one meal, or this one day. It's crazy to me. I mean, I'm bad.
I support it. Go broke.
I'm bad too.
Go big and go broke. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you got to go big. Got to go big and go broke on Thanksgiving.
Yes.
I always thought that was weird, And I think it's even stranger, I guess, that I don't know, man. There's just so many things about Thanksgiving I find is strange. So,
but I think I've got a good take for the Epstein thing, because you probably remember. There's a lot of the people on the right remember, even though the Epstein didn't kill himself meme when he died. I mean, the Epstein story has been around for 8 years, and I kind of imagine it like you're at a party and you've got all these interesting things on the walls, all the Epstein, leads and different stuff. And we've known to get comfortable. Basically, it's not this stuff that hasn't come out yet. And these people who just got to the party are like, whoa, where are the files, bro? And it's like, yeah, dude.
Yeah,
100%. We've been doing this for 8 years, and these people aren't going to be. They're not actually interested in it. They're not going to believe it, even if anything is put out, unless it affirms their beliefs. They just got to the party, and they're like, "Oh, maybe if we say Trump's in it, then he'll have to release it." It's like, that's a big brain take, dude. Brilliant strategy, but it's just at this point, it's gotten so out of hand at this point that even anything in the Epstein files that is innocent, an investigation
we were talking about this the other day,
concluded on something that wasn't, there wasn't anything there, right? Mm-hmm. They investigated someone and it turned out that they weren't involved. These people are going to run them through the dirt over it. So I've thought about, at this point, it's so out of hand. I'd love to see the Epstein files. For 5 years ago, if you asked me, we were all about it. But at this point, who knows that anyone's going to trust it? I don't even know that I'd necessarily trust it, because it becomes such a political weapon and a political tool. And I think that the real concern is, the only legitimate concern is that what do you do when you release these Epstein files? Epstein was so connected that it implicates, whether it's
literal billionaire,
guilty, literally everyone is going to be implicated in this, because he was at all these events. They love showing the pictures of Trump where they're at public events. How many other people do you think have pictures with this guy? How many other people do you think went to the island? Stephen Hawking was at the island. I don't think that every single person.
Well, they shot multiple rap videos at the island. Multiple.
Yeah. The idea that everyone that Epstein touched or interacted with belies the original theory that he was collecting blackmail anyway. Yeah. And actually, I mean, like, of course, anything that they have on guilt, we do want. I want that out, right? But we don't know what's
Yeah.
in that. That's why we have this demand for the release of the files, because we can only theorize, right? I don't think anybody doubts that Epstein was collecting blackmail, that he probably blackmailed politicians. I think it'd also be a really interesting conversation to have with what kind of politics have changed because of this blackmail. You know, what deciding votes were blackmailed into a vote that they wouldn't have otherwise cast.
Yeah,
The
solid.
blackmail is presumably having an effect, right?
Let,
And then
let me
there's the
take
whole
you in a
element
different.
of
Let me take you in a
pedophiles.
different direction. Let me take you in a different direction. First of all, let me. I'm not sure how to pronounce this. Ocala found grid through Prime. Congrats on the debates. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. By the way,
Oh, that's
and
Ookla.
Tupple's a rock star. He came in and debated with the fearsome Fabian Liberty and survived, which not many do. That's awesome. Also, he is indeed a streamer on Twitch. We're trying to get him away from the dark side where he can actually say things and not be afraid of being banished.
Oh no, we're past that. That's why we're on Kick, and
Oh, you're on Kick now? Yeah,
I am
guys.
on Kick now for that reason. Also because my
Mhm.
chatters get banned.
Yeah.
But once my Kick followers surpass my Twitch followers, I'm gonna do a live stream where I intentionally get permabanned on Twitch. It'll be a fun time. We've been strategizing the best way to do that.
Arthur Dias says all she wants is the pedo dudes brought to justice. Well, that's wishful thinking.
Agreed,
to
100%.
be honest. And here's where I'm at on it. So this is let me lay this out, because I've thought about this, because I pay attention to small details and I pay attention to the big picture as well. And one of the things I think that people often kind of gloss right by is, well, first of all, let's talk about Trump and how his relationship with Epstein was business, and they kind of hung out with the same people. They moved in the same circles. And let's just be honest, and I've said this earlier today, there is kind of a billionaires boys club kind of deal where they were rich and wealthy and in New York, and they travel to Florida for the winter and all of these things that people do. And I have no problem admitting that it's not a stretch that at some point Trump elbowed Epstein and said, check out the ass on that one, as I have done myself in my past, right? Like,
Sure.
look at, look, I mean, locker room talk is locker room talk. And, when you are amongst these, amongst your peoples, you say things, right? But I think that over time, Trump kind of started to understand how really fucked up Epstein was. Now, this is long before he tried to run as a Republican. Now, you remember Trump tried to get on the Democratic ticket for president a couple of times, and he never could get past a primary. So that's why he ended up running as a Republican, because the Democrats wouldn't have it. And he wasn't left enough. So so when we look at that parting there, everybody says, well, he stole multiple people from Mar-a-Lago. Sure, that was bad, but I don't, and I think Trump thought he would. I think that was kind of probably like after the fact, after Trump had already kind of written him out anyway. But now let's kind of move back into what was going on with Epstein, because in between 03 and 05, Epstein was under investigation. I think in 05 he was charged. 06 maybe. I don't remember the exact dates. And he ended up going to prison. I mean, not really. He was weekending at prison. But he understood at that point that he had to change something. And according to the girls themselves and Ghislaine Maxwell and other people and men that knew him, Epstein changed after that. And I think that it's pretty clear that what actually changed was that Epstein changed his MO. He didn't have Ghislaine Maxwell go out and find these 14, 15 aged subjects and put them right into the breach, right? They would kind of groom them, if you will, until they turned 18. The day they turned 18, they were put to work, so to speak, and they were put out here they were the sacrificial lambs for these billionaires and these power brokers in Washington and these congressmen and these these foreign dignitaries. And he changed that because I think he understood that well, first of all,
didn't have to be super underage to accomplish the job. And second, he didn't want to go to actual prison. Like, it was bad enough to be a billionaire weekending at prison. But I don't think I think he changed. And I think there's a lot of supporting evidence for that. So if that is the case, and the only time that you can really tie Trump to Epstein on airplanes and all of that is after 2006. All that really means
Trump also
is
kicked him out of his club, didn't he? Isn't that
yeah. Well, that was previous, and that's to me that's a minor thing, right? Like, that's literally like, you're trying to poach my people, but I don't think that was the big thing. I think a lot of people get into that, but I think the real thing, because there are two different versions of this. The first version is that Epstein was trying to poach young employees from Trump's club, and he was trying to put them into his grooming program, right? To give them money and clothes and apartments and things like that until they turned 18, and then of course they would farm them out. But I don't think that was the real problem with Trump, because I don't think he knew that. He just thought he was hiring people. He didn't like that, but he actually banned him, I think, because I think he caught Epstein making a pass at or propositioning, if not an underage girl, a very, like 18 or 19. And Trump just found that detestable, right? And he just like, the guy's got to go. And even back in interviews at that time, long before he was president, he says the same thing. Epstein, he's a bad guy, good businessman, but just, that's it. Just don't want to deal with him. Yeah. So I really, Arthur Dye has never heard that he changed to only over 18-year-old girls. Yeah, that nobody wants to talk about that part of it. They like to focus on the sensationalized version of this.
Well, you also just want to think about this logically. If you're blackmailing someone, you don't invite them over into a blatantly illegal interaction like that. My understanding of it, at least, and this was my understanding 5 years ago. I'll admit I haven't been, reading as much as with interest on the Epstein stuff lately. But what they would do is they would have these parties, and there would be plenty of girls there that were overage and all legal and all that. Mm-hmm. And then there'd be a couple there that weren't, and they would size them up, get video footage of them with these younger underage girls, and then blackmail them. And they'd be, whether they knew they were intentionally getting into it or not, it wouldn't matter because you're engaging in it, right?
Yeah.
And so the idea that like he blackmailed everyone he talked to, that every single person he interacted with knew what was going on. If you're going to be effective as an asset, as some people think he was a Mossad agent, I think that's a compelling narrative. If you're going to engage in that, it's not in this like the way it's described is
not out of bounds.
It's a movie. It's like a movie. Yeah. It's like, he's the spy, the bad guy, and like everyone who talks to him, you can tell because like the writers of the movie are leaving that hint for you. It's like, this is real life. What we're talking about is something that was probably carried out very, very intelligently. I'm not saying it was good. Obviously,
there's no doubt,
horrible and evil and all of that. But it's like, let's think about how this would actually happen.
Yeah, there's no doubt that after his arrest, he sharpened up. Arthur Dye, where am I getting that? I'm getting that from the girls, because that's why they couldn't prosecute him, is because the girls literally said, we didn't do anything until we were 18. And we did, and what we did willingly. Right? That's why they couldn't get Epstein on all of those charges. That's why they were still investigated. That's why it never even went to trial. They were still trying to build a case. They were looking for that one girl that after 2006 was underage and had performed sexual activities at the same time. And they never did find that. That's why he was just sitting in jail. If they had found that, he would have been locked up. It would have been the trial of the century.
I have no doubt that there were underage girls that were having sexual interactions on Epstein's island, but I think that the point I'm trying to make is that we got to reasonably.
See, here's the problem with the Epstein Island thing, though, is that our laws don't apply there, right? And this is one thing that he was really smart about too. He would, for when he needed the under 18ers, right? He would go to Germany or France, where the age of consent is 16 or 14. And I think Germany, it's 14. And he would bring those girls to the island, right? Now, it's age of consent. Thailand, it's even. I think it's even. So I don't. The narrative here is just the problem is that the actual truth will not fit the narrative, and nobody's going to like it. I don't like it. I want him to be. I want him to be a. I mean, look, he is a rat bastard, but I want him to be just darkly evil in a provable way, right?
Right. Yeah, and with all the like lore building, I mean, all of the internet theory crafting that's happened, I think it's gotten absolutely out of hand. Yeah, I mean, it's like if you like were seen with Epstein, you're implicated now, and it's just that's just not how it would have worked, just reasonably. And another thing, like the Epstein list, right? It's like, do you think everyone who went to the island like signed a check-in sheet before they committed a crime? Like, it's any list would be compiled by investigators or some sort of law enforcement. And then when you get into that point, we're talking about releasing this. And look, I'll admit, I don't know what the Pam Bondi was up to when she did the whole phase 1 thing. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't really. I don't think we'll ever know. I think not. I don't think that we'll ever know. So, kind of let's just move forward a little bit on this, right? So they have Epstein in custody, and they're obviously squeezing him for something. We don't know what, right? Because they didn't have. It doesn't seem like they had a case against him, right? Other than that he was a ex-pedophile hanging around with like probably people he shouldn't have been hanging around with. But other than that, they don't really have anything on him, right? There's no charges for Epstein. There's nothing you can go to and say, well, he was charged with this and this and this. Do you find it curious that we're 7 years deep on this? And they're still not releasing information that I think you and I would both consider critical because it's still under investigation. It's under investigation. Now, I understand, right? And I understand this is a tough thing this is actually a really tough thing for the authorities because they have to be very careful with if there are any minors involved or were minors at the time and now they're adult. There's things there that they've got to deal with. So they got to be really careful with that. They've really got to be careful with, implicating people and that probably didn't do anything, but were just kind of there, I hate to say innocent bystander because I don't think any of them were actually innocent, but bystanders, right? But it's been 7 years, dude. Now, remember when all this happened, we were told that there were terabytes of video and data. Terabytes. A lot, right? They shot rap videos there. None of that, as far as I know, none of that footage has been subpoenaed or anything like that. We don't. I mean, obviously, I don't follow it that closely, but it
were those rappers? They never published the video.
Well, so yeah, they did, and everything they publish is clean. But somebody had a cell phone there, man. That these guys were leaking shit and were tweeting shit. But there's no video that can be actually attributed to Epstein Islands that show anything during these videos that anything going wrong or anything that's questionable, right?
Right.
It's just so strange. Now we know that something happened there because, as my chat very astutely says, how can Prince Andrew lose his royal titles? He didn't lose them. He gave them up. That's a different thing. Royal income and immunity, yet Bill Clinton shared victims with him, and he is criminally unpunished. Because in one country, the assumption is enough, and in this country, we need proof. Right? That's Andrew didn't have anything stripped of him. He just gave them up to avoid the scandal. Was he charged with sex trafficking? Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's.
I'll have to look that up, but he was in jail for a long time with no charges.
It's gotten to a point where I think people really just like it as a political bludgeon anyway, because
I think
you can implicate all of these assumptions and insinuate all these things, but really, we wouldn't need the Epstein files released if we already knew what all of these theory-crafted theories were saying, right? People believe, like, to their soul that Trump is implicated or that these other people are implicated. It's like, if you're so convinced, then what do you need the files for? What have you seen that's already put such conviction into you that your theory is correct? I'm willing to say I have no idea what the theory is. I've been waiting 7 or 8 years. All of these people this year that are coming in and new to the party, and oh wow, what's all this? This is crazy. We got to get the files out. It's like, dude, get comfortable because nobody knows what's going to happen. And even if at this point something comes out, it's already blown up in the public space that people aren't going to believe it, and maybe they shouldn't, because who knows what's being done behind the scenes. I mean, like, any investigator who's looked at this in the last 5 years has probably thought what I'm doing is going to be public one day. Like, or at least it could be. It's such a, like, it's gotten so out of hand that it's hard to imagine that anything effective or meaningful will ever come out of it. But then again, this does leave open the question, like, what was Pam Bondi doing with phase 1? And I have no answer for that. I don't know. But I also just don't want to pretend that the theory crafting that's most compelling to me, like, I don't have such a strong conviction in anything. Otherwise, we wouldn't need the files
kind of in that
if
same
anything was out there. So it's just
kind of in that same
at this point. At this point, someone said this in chat earlier. I just want pedophiles to be charged.
Yeah, Arthur died.
I would hope that they would be. Like, I want them to be. I agree with you 100%. And when it comes to who Trump put in charge of the FBI, Kash Patel and Dave Bongino, those two were probably the 1 and 2 most interested in this story before they became FBI directors. Like, he chose the 2 people, and this is a coincidence, perhaps, probably, maybe, I don't know. It definitely is notable that the 2 FBI directors both were extremely interested in this story before they got to the FBI. And whether you trust Dan Bongino or you trust Kash Patel or not, I would hope that anything concrete and legitimate that we would have on people, that they would bring charges. And I hope that they do. But as far as, like, pretending I'm in the room, that I've seen all of the evidence, that I've seen these files, none of us have seen these files. That's why you can make all these insinuations with it.
I don't know how many. Your camera just went down.
Yeah. It's Mossad. They're after me.
It is. You said the wrong word. It's kick, man. Kicks a cesspool, man. Arthur Dye says they had warrants for his arrest and he was charged very shortly after being arrested. I think that's true, but it wasn't the meat and potatoes of the island. The island. So.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
At any rate, I just still think that Epstein was got smarter, and he decided he wasn't going to go back to prison, and and I do think that there's something to the agent so here's the thing. I said this earlier today. I think all of the intelligence agencies knew about Epstein, and they all used him. Every single one of them. Why would you not?
True.
Right?
And there's probably more than Epstein. There's probably some island out there right now.
I mean, I don't know
what's going on.
But
who knows? Nobody knows.
Right.
It's like people treat it like it's a movie.
Yeah, maybe they went to the wrong island. Maybe that was Epstein Island A, and what we're really looking for is Epstein Island B. He might have had more than one island. He was a billionaire, after all.
All right, I can figure this out. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Why are you breaking your stuff, man?
Dude, this is nightmare. Hang on, I can fix it. I got this. I have an idea.
Yeah, I think that, there's no way that if Mossad knew about him, that the CIA didn't know about him. Right?
I would agree with that.
And if the CIA knew about him, that means the GRU knew about him, the German secret police. If they knew about him, then that means MI5 and MI6 knew about him. And it's just, they just passed him around. That's all. They just passed him around. which actually opens up the idea of who actually suicided him in prison. Who really did that? Was it Mossad? Ah, look, Pentuple's back.
Yeah, I used a display capture to just pull up my. Oh God, the very ghetto way of doing it, but it worked. All right,
dude. I don't know what has been going on. I don't know whether we're getting like some massive updates or something. But even the other day, I was trying to talk to my brother on the phone, and I kid you not, my phone went down. My phone just would randomly hang up like every 5 minutes or something. It was driving me nuts.
all right, we're good. We're back.
We're back. Kinda back.
Yes. I mean, I do need to figure out why my camera won't connect to OBS, but at least I can just display capture.
The camera's malfunctioned. He did it himself. No, some CIA guy,
It's Mossad. It's the
Mossad. Could be Mossad. Mossad, though, I don't know. Mossad seems.
Well, that's actually the reason that theory comes from the Ghislaine Maxwell connection, because her father was Mossad, right? Chat will know. Someone in chat will know. I think
that's the rumor. I don't know that that's the case.
I think Epstein had Israeli citizenship. That might be part of it too. Let me look that up. I think that's why. There was. I remember thinking, oh, there's a fairly compelling connection there.
Well, who am I to argue with fairly compelling? BIY says, I had issues with that too recently. I found taking it off Wi-Fi and calling a test number to get it to connect helped. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it was. I ended up turning off my Wi-Fi because I did think it was a Wi-Fi problem, and I just restarted my phone. So, yeah. Well, it's all about the new modern micro drones, the ones that look like flies. I saw a movie once, and that they had that in it. The little flies that were actually drones that were listening devices. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that movie.
I didn't even know you could make a drone that small.
I think it's movie magic, but I'm just saying. I saw the movie. Her father definitely was Mossad. Is anyone ever definitely Mossad? Do they ever actually cop to being Mossad?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, especially within the nature of what we're talking about, you wouldn't have necessarily or keep a paper trail that would only ever serve to incriminate.
Of course you would. Come on.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that's the source of all of our problems. You guys had a debate over it. Not you.
But with Jake and
Jake Var.
Yes. Well, Tyler's been debating it for months.
Who?
Tyler. He's been very.
Oh yeah. But he's on the
borderline obsessed.
Yeah. He's got it. He's got the story down. He's got the story.
Yeah, he's got a 25-page document on all of the defenses of Israel.
So, what do you think going forward? What are we looking at? What do you think the midterms are going to be like?
So I think we're way farther ahead than people think. And I know we had this off-year election where you
typically lose.
Actually, right. That's the trend. But when it comes to all of the stories this year that actually are going to affect voters next year, I do think there are going to be people who go into the voting booth for the first time next year and think about Charlie Kirk. I don't think there's going to be a single person that goes into the voting booth next year for the first time and thinks that young Republicans group chat was so offensive, So I think that from 2020 to 2024, and we'll just leave out the, voter fraud accusations or any sort of stuff there. The Democrats won in 2020. The reason they lost in 2024 is because their support got chipped away at by a ton of different events over 2020 to 2024. And then the loss in 2024, there's people who went and voted in 2024, saw the results, and that was the event that caused them to leave. So I don't think the Democrats inherently recovered after losing. I think a lot of their voters probably thought, you guys are fucking liars and bullshit artists, and you hyped up all this stuff, and now they're desperate. So I think they're doing even worse. I think they're in a worse position than they were on election day 2024. And so after Charlie Kirk, I think that's another major event where you're going to see a lot of people who decided, I'm not going to go support this side of the political aisle anymore. So I think when it comes to 2026 and definitely 2028, I think we're actually doing a lot better than people want to think. And I think there's a kind of an assumption that the trend's always just going to go back and forth. But I just don't buy that. And maybe that's just because I'm young and naive. Maybe I'll be 70 years old one day and I'll be like, no, trust me, it just always goes back and forth. But I think this is what it would look like in real time to see a political party dying out. I think the Democrats are losing their grip. I mean, they're the ones trying to rebrand. They have this like whole deciding to win campaign because they realized how far off in the woods they are. And I don't think it's going to work. And I think a lot of what we're seeing right now, another sign that we're so far ahead, is because we've got this internal debate on the right between the Israeli first side, or the Israeli right, I should say, and then the America first side, which is where I would say when it comes when push comes to shove, and I say this as the host, as your humble host of MAGA headquarters, we're going to side with America first.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the Israeli right wing that is going to win this debate en masse with MAGA voters. So what's going to happen is, I think, and to tie this back to the point that I think we're so far ahead, we're almost ignoring the left at this point. We're not debating whether we should keep letting illegals in. We're having this debate about how do we deport them? How do we effectively do this? We're having the internal debate on the right, and that's going to create the new spectrum of politics that we see for the next 20, 30, 40 years. I do think that it's very possible we are watching the death of a major party, and even the Republican Party in some ways is dying because there's factions that are coming out of it that don't necessarily identify together. And that's where you have like I would say I'd put MAGA in general in the middle. You've got the Israeli right to the left of it, and then you've got the America First groypers, I guess you could put on the other side. And so it's going to come down to where MAGA moves. And I just don't see MAGA moving over to the Israeli right side. I think MAGA en masse is going to go America First, because those are two really synonymous things. And America First was born out of MAGA. You don't have this.
Well, I think MAGA was born out of America First. I think that's backwards. I think the one thing that everybody understands about Trump is it's America above everything else. And so that is America First. And I do agree with you. Let me ask you a couple of things, because it's interesting to me. So do you think what do you feel like going forward? Do you think we're getting closer to where more people are thinking like Nick Fuentes?
I think.
Do you think he's sounding more? Do you think more people are resonating with his message? Because it seems like
it's hard to say, but he's clearly like a force to be reckoned with. I mean, there's a lot of people like Ben Shapiro want to just brush it off and I'm not going to give him a platform. This kid has however many viewers. He's not on Twitch, he's not on Kick, he's not on YouTube. He was getting people to go over to cozy.tv, like whatever other websites he's run on. I think he's on Rumble now mainly, but it's like he certainly is resonating with a lot more than a lot of the right-wing content creators you're finding on X that are so critical of him. And when it comes down to it, I think, like you said, America First, Make America Great Again. Those are those were always synonymous until now. Like those meant the same thing. If someone said they were America First, they were a Trump voter, and if someone said Make America Great Again, you knew that they were a Trump voter. It was like, and by Trump voter, I just mean like on our side politically.
Well, see, I think that this is
America.
I think this is something that as we move forward, this is going to be a very interesting thing, because I think that more and more people, whether they want to admit it or not, they're sounding more like Nick Fuentes than ever before. Trump, this is my prediction, right? This is just what I see coming down the pipe. Trump's going to go hard the next year. His second year in, he's going to start pulling back. And he's going to start putting whoever he thinks is going to be the presidential candidate that he endorses, they're going to be limelighted. I think it's going to be JD Vance. I really do. But there's some other good choices there. And I don't think Fuentes is that. I don't think Fuentes is as big, right, as a what's his name? I don't know. The bald-headed guy. What's it? I can't think of his name. I never listened to him, but he Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's everywhere.
Oh, right. Sure, no. And
Fuentes is not as big as Rogan. Fuentes isn't as big as some of the other guys, but he's really loud. And the thing is right now he's saying a lot of things that, like it or not, they're pretty accurate, right?
Right. Well, he's hilarious, and I think that a lot of people that go and actually watch his streams will come back with, okay, whether you like him or not, he's pretty funny. He's entertaining. And I don't think that Fuentes is necessarily someone who's going to run for office anytime soon. You know what I mean? But for someone, if you were to put odds on his success, and Charlie Kirk probably would have been one of the only few people above him, to say, who's got the best chance in 25 years, to run for president of the, 30 and under crowd. He's definitely got a lot of people resonating with him. So he's relevant, and I don't think that the Ben Shapiro approach of just ignoring him, pretending him doesn't exist, is going to work for a lot longer.
Yeah, that's not going to work. So here's where my mind is at. Tell me if you agree. Trump is going to over the next year he's going to start talking about how young people need to lead this country. Which he kind of already does, but he's going to really get into it. I think Trump is going to push for a younger president, a younger presidential candidate. And that's why I think Vance is probably going to be the guy. I think it's going to be, if I had to guess right now today, could be wrong. Right now today, I would bet Vance and Trump Jr. Right now, if I had to, because then what he'll say is, see, I told you Donald Trump was running. Right?
That would be funny. That would be funny.
That's right. But right now, I think it's because he's going to start talking about all of these all these old men like himself that become infirm in office, that are boxed in. He's going to point to Biden. He is going to harp on Biden so much. So much. And you just watch. He's going to be talking about the auto pen. He's going to be talking about your computer messing up.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is.
Yeah, no, it's fine. He's going to be talking about all this stuff, and he really can, because he recognizes there's always a call. There's already a call for a more youthful president.
Right.
And I really think, now he's obviously not going to be looking for somebody that, what's the minimum age? 35, I think it is, to run for president. He's not going to, that's a no-go. He's not going to do that. But Vance is like tailor-made. So, and I mean, I think we're going to see the typical, we'll see Ted Cruz, we'll see Greg Abbott, we'll see all these guys, the typical guys run again. We'll see the guy from Florida. What's his name? Somebody just said it. DeSantis. We'll see DeSantis run. Might see Nick Cruz run again. Personally. I think Cruz has just been out there kind of just like Nick was what is Nick not Nick Cruz. What was the other kind of like Ted Cruz light? Nick something. It doesn't matter. We'll see a bunch of a bunch of interesting
it'll be interesting because I do think it's going to come down to who Trump endorses, and I would be surprised if some of the names that you just said even bother running without Trump's endorsement. Because if Trump's going to endorse JD Vance, Ted Cruz is going to get blown out. Marco Rubio is probably not. I don't think Marco Rubio would bother running if it came down to that.
I think Trump is really smart, and he saw how much of a threat Vivek was, because Vivek is young, successful. He saw how much energy and motion Vivek had, and that's really, I think, going to be the secret going for in 2028. I think that's going to be the secret. I think it's going to be, and it's going to have. But at the same time, I don't think he's going to endorse just anybody. Now he might. I mean, you never know with Trump, man. Trump wake up one morning and be like, "Fuck it."
That's true. I don't think that Trump has even necessarily decided on Vance yet whether to endorse him or not.
No, I don't think he has. I think he's decided on the tactic, because he's already, he's been talking about how old Biden was, talked about the auto pen. If you pay attention, he's really like pushing that, and because he knows it's a popular sentiment as well. There's a lot of people out there that are like, why are we electing 80-year-old people to lead the nation? That's just not smart, And so if ideally, I think what Trump wants is someone that served in the military that didn't make it to general, someone young, and somebody that at least can be billed as a traditional conservative, MAGA adjacent, at the very least, person.
Right. I was a big Vivek fan, but I don't know if how much he's soured his position with the whole H-1B thing. But I think the front runner, obviously, I would, if I were to place my bets on someone, it would be JD Vance.
Yeah.
And Trump Jr. wouldn't be the wildest, vice president pick for him either.
Oh, but, I think it would be. I think it would be a good ticket, but I mean, there are a lot of other people out there, I think, that we haven't even heard from yet that'll make great VP tickets.
It'd be really interesting if DeSantis ran and got Trump's endorsement, because I have a very sour opinion of DeSantis, because he tried to step on the toes of our movement. And I had this one of the first streams I ever did was actually a stream where I talked to Rob Knorr about, why are we pretending we're just going to sacrifice the Trump movement and run with DeSantis because of all the, drama happening at the time, the insurrection talk and Jan 6 and stuff. I didn't really like it. To me, I felt like DeSantis let people get in his ear and say, hey, you gotta run. What if Trump, what if all this stuff happens with Trump and blah, blah, blah. And that didn't really show like faith in our movement. And when we're moving on from Trump, we're not moving on from the mission that the MAGA movement carried. This is why I say the America First is the future of MAGA, because MAGA was the slogan that got us Trump's second term, got him his first term. The second election he ran in that he lost was Keep America Great. So MAGA has really been kind of like the brand and fire label we've used. And I do think that that's going to sort of give birth to the America First. I think that's probably what's going to be the campaign slogan for whoever it is that runs in 2028. Whether it's just to appeal to that faction of the right or because they actually adopt that label, which in my opinion is a necessity. Whether you make it your campaign slogan or not, you do need to be America First if you want to be our president.
Who I would like to, a dream ticket to me would be JD Vance and Nick Freitas.
Nick Freitas. I feel like I've seen him on X or something.
Yeah, he's a big X guy. He just actually put one out the other day about how the debate, like debating is different in Washington than anywhere else because nobody will listen to you and it's just garbage. And he makes a really good point. Him and Michael Knowles have had this back and forth for some time. They're very funny. He's the guy. He's the congressman who sits there and drinks his coffee and talks shit about liberals all the time. And that would be a powerhouse. It'd be a powerhouse team, I think.
That's a good point that Mr. 5565 made in your chat, because I bring this up a lot when people say, "Oh, Republicans have the majority in Congress stuff." We don't really have a MAGA majority. The Republican Party might have a majority, but there's still a lot of work to be done for the MAGA movement to really get on top in Congress and be able to, push forward a lot of the agenda that we actually are trying to get through.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's right. What do you think about the MTG thing? What stories have you heard? Where do you stand on it? What's your opinion?
I mean, I watched the announcement. She's from Georgia. Right? I don't even know what state. I think she's from
Georgia.
Is that right? Yeah. I mean, it just seems like she's, black-pilled. She's got little faith that she's going to have any impact. I think some people say it's because she's going to run for governor, but I would think it kind of doesn't make sense to resign halfway through a term and then run for another office. So part of me thinks that she doesn't plan to run for another office, because you'd have to answer for that, right? Like, why would I vote for you to be my governor when you resigned halfway through your House term? It's a 2-year term.
See, I think this is why the smear campaign's going on about why she quit midterm, because a lot of people quit midterms to run for governor or run for another office. They have to.
Do they?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't think they can run and keep their seat, right?
Right, but why wouldn't she give that as the reason then? Why would she go through this whole, oh, it's so over, oh, it's it's ended?
I don't know. Maybe I don't. I mean, I can't, dude. Woman, why do they do any damn thing they do? But I do believe that I think it makes sense if she's trying to run for governor, because I think she wants to be the first actual female president. The only way that happens is she has to be a governor first. My opinion.
Interesting. Yeah. I don't know what her plan is.
And Mr. makes a great point. Right now, the Dems are running a Muslim female for governor of Georgia. So
how much worse can it be than Stacey Abrams?
Stacey Abrams.
Yeah, that's who lost to.
I know.
Yeah. She said she was the rightful winner for a while. I wonder if she's going to run again. Has she bothered to even run again? I have no idea. I don't pay attention to Georgia politics, regrettably.
I got somebody on Twitch talking. Let me show this. That is what a Democrat said today on national television when asked about. Let me see if I can find the first comment. Maybe it's a little bit more. Here we go. Democrats now. Trump is an evil racist who says mean things. Also Democrats. Well, you see, Woodrow Wilson was bad, but he misspoke when he said he hated blacks. It's not his fault it happened. He was bullied by Roosevelt and Taft into it. He did not mean to resegregate the government. And then he follows that up, because there is a character limit, with that is what a Democrat said today on national television when asked about Trump and his racism. Do you think Trump's really racist? I don't think he's racist. They basically said it is not the Democrats' fault racism happened, and that people like Wilson and Jackson were pressured into doing what they did and did not mean to do it. Well, that's just chippy.
I mean, the guy was given awards from the NAACP in the 90s. Those videos are funny to watch.
Yeah.
Like you got Al Sharpton himself, like, proudly handing him a gold trophy and stuff. It's just ridiculous. I mean, this is why I say the Democrats, all they have left now are slogans and battering rams.
Yeah.
And this is actually something interesting that I noticed. I went to the No Kings protest 2 months ago, whatever that was.
Mm-hmm.
None of the signs that they held they didn't seem designed to convince me as someone who's on the oppositional side. They were all like like patting themselves on the back, like Trump's so evil and a fascist and evil. And I'm like, wouldn't this be more effective of an approach to try to bring people in to your understanding? Like, this is a dying group that's desperately trying to prevent anyone from leaving it, because people are leaving it in droves. Like they're like the idea that some of my even most leftist friends would want to go be seen with these people with these signs at the No Kings protest. Like it's embarrassing at this point. What they really feel like they're desperate to just hold on to the very little support they have left. They're not trying to even bring people in. Where MAGA at this point is just like, yeah, you can join us, whatever. We can have all these disagreements on our side, and it's still cordial. It's fun. We're trying to figure out where the future of this country is going to go. So I think it is, again, as we were talking about earlier, where do we really stand on the direction of this country? I think we're the ones that are on the right side, where I think we're the ones that are winning, because they're so desperately holding on to the little support they have that they're so emotional and angry, right? Whereas our side is just like, we can openly have these debates. We can have this internal warfare on the MAGA side about Israel or about whatever other issue we're talking about, because we're actually on the side that's at the table getting things done. These people got up from the table years ago. They've just been screaming at us, and nobody wants to listen to them anymore. So they're in a pretty rough position. And I don't think that a few, year after election results, I just don't buy that what happened during the government shutdown is going to pan out for the long term. I think that was probably the best that they're going to do for a long time.
Give me 1 second here. Marilyn says, if y'all haven't heard about Anson, please pray for him. Thank you. I have not heard anything about Anson since I talked to him before the event that I did. If you could, Marilyn, if you don't mind, find me on Discord, DM that to me, because I think I know what's going on, but I want to make sure, and I'm certainly not going to say anything about it. So, I'm certainly not bored Clover Tack at all. By the way, we had a great range day. We were missing one Clover Tack. We're also missing Pentuple. I don't know why Pentuple did not see fit to partake in our range day, but
we wanted to. See, I was subject to. I'll throw Sadie under the bus for that one. I was subject to my handler's decisions that day.
Yeah. Okay.
We definitely wanted to, and we want to come out next time.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to do something in April. We're going to do something in April.
But
Grillipus was there. Grillipolus was there. He said, "I want to do courses now." Well, he means courses of fire, like USPSA and whatnot. So for people that don't know what was going on with Anson, and I don't mind sharing this because I think he said it publicly a couple of times. He couldn't make it to Nashville because his wife was undergoing a procedure, and he had to take care of the kids while she was undergoing that procedure. I asked him specifically if it was a big deal. He basically said, nah, it was pretty standard, but hopefully nothing happened to his ex-wife. That would be, it'd be really bad if they did. But Marilyn, please message me if you don't mind and let me know, because Anson's a good friend. So he has been a good friend. So at any rate, back to reality. That's all. That's a solid take on it. We've gotten a couple of comments over on Twitch. So Jackson secretly felt bad for the Indians. No, I'm sure he did not. I don't think Jackson was not a man of feelings. He was a stoic, if I've ever seen one. So.
Yeah. It was my final thought. I'll just get this out now. On the stakes or the state of where this country is headed. I think the Democrats want to celebrate the election results from a month ago, about a month ago, right? This came on the heels of a government shutdown where the Democrats were the ones voting no and openly professing how bad it was for Republicans, which is the obvious intent for them to keep the government shut down, coincidentally, right up until the elections are completed. So I don't think that they threw everything they had into winning those races. I think that I even saw that they had taken out millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars of debt for those elections. I think I just saw that today somewhere on my X feed. So I don't even buy that these results are indicative of their success. And I think that they underestimate the amount of people, because when Trump got shot, that was a big, we kind of forget about that because he survived, but we almost saw him get his head blown off. And I think a lot of people that day realized, okay, I was kind of fence sitting. I wasn't really sure, but now I am. And I think a lot of people that these aren't the loudmouths on X. Like the majority of Americans aren't terminally online like I am, like many of us are. Not saying it as a bad thing or pejorative. Just a lot of Americans just simply aren't online. But that's one of the stories that everyone saw. I mean, whether you were online or not, you heard about Charlie Kirk getting shot, right? And I think they kind of underestimate how much of an impact that really had. Because they want to throw they want to throw everything at the wall that they can to see what sticks. Like the Young Republicans group chat. Like, did anyone it was funny. It was funny that was a story, because the memes that I was seeing was everyone who's terminally online and who's funny and has friends is in group chats like that, where you say things that you don't believe, you say things you don't mean. Meanwhile, by the way, one of the candidates in Virginia is openly professing to his friend, who's responding how uncomfortable he is, that he's wishing the death upon the children of his political opponent, right? Like, he's clearly, this isn't like having fun with your friends in a group chat, being edgy and young and funny. This is like, I'm just saying, we're way farther ahead on all of the meaningful subjects, the meaningful topics, the news that actually affects people and how they vote. I think, and this is just my prediction, and I'm not always right. I thought we were going to win 2020, and we didn't. I think we're going to wash in 2026. That's my opinion. And look at Tyler in chat. Ban him.
Ban him? I can't ban
him.
Tyler.
He's mad. He's mad. He's a Juiceberg. Everyone, since he's not here to defend himself up on screen, I'll take this opportunity to use Tyler being a
why are you mad
Jewish asset?
Poor Tyler. What's up with poor Tyler? Tyler's okay.
See how mad he is? I'll break characters. Me and Tyler do this all the time. We're always pretending to beef way harder than we are. Now all of chat's in on it too, but it's fun.
I was like, I thought this was just a bit you guys did. I was like, did something change and I don't know about it?
It is.
So obviously not. the same thing every day.
We were just on like an hour to go together, but it's a good bit. It's fun. I have fun doing it, at least, whether it's funny.
Yeah.
We need to do. You need to have me and Tyler debate each other at the next GridCon. That'd be fun.
What do you guys want to debate about?
Request that. Anything, Israel probably.
Oh, at the next.
That one might get out of hand.
I was going to say
I might not be as calm as Jake Varr with that one.
Yeah, we could actually just do it online next week, but so
Tyler's too scared to do it that quickly. He knows I can go with no prep. He needs months. He needs his 25-page document research.
It's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm absolutely positive this is a lab-grown beef. So
yes. Well put.
All right. So we've talked about Epstein. We've talked about potential future elections. Okay. How do you feel about Texas?
I like it here.
Coming from the Northeast.
Yeah, I came from Maryland to Texas. Came from seeing mountains in every direction I look to seeing no mountains in any direction I look. But it's been fun. You get around faster. That's cool. The 2-hour drives aren't as annoying as a 2-hour drive in Maryland. You got
your
the
neighbors
traffic down here is
2 hours.
annoying, but I mean, at least the traffic's going like 30, 35 on the highway. Up in I was in dead stop traffic all the time. It sucks up there. Granted, I was around DC area, so it is what it is. Especially with DC, it's like being. Although I will say, Austin traffic nightmare. Good lord.
Yeah, Austin sucks. Sucks.
I ain't driving through Austin anymore.
I think Texas is about to make Austin its own state, so it can enter poverty by itself.
We need to push it and move it to California.
Yeah, it's interesting. I really like Texas, and I really enjoy hanging out there. I don't know that I would want to live there, but I like Texas a lot. And but the Northeast is just so bad, especially around DC. Now, the only redeeming quality that DC has going for it for a young man such as yourself is I really think the the male to female ratios, or single male to single female ratio is something like 8 women to 1 man. Like, it's nuts there.
Maybe I made a mistake. I'll have to go back. How many of them are illegals though?
Yeah, well, I think most of them are probably liberals that are.
I'm with Alex Stein on it though. The big booty Latinas can stay.
Big booty Latinas. Yeah, Alex Stein is hilarious.
I'll get you your card. He is funny. He is funny. No, but I've had a great time in Texas. I'm partnering in the spring with the Texas 2A attorney, the notorious, legendary 2A attorney in Texas. So I've been, running all over Texas with him because I'm still transferring my license from Maryland to Texas. So I can't practice in Texas yet, but I've been going around all his cases with him, flying around with his son-in-law has a 6-seater plane. So whenever we got to go somewhere super far, we ask him. And so we've done that a couple times. It's been a lot of fun. I've been able to see a lot more court action than I did in Maryland. Because I don't know if you knew what I did in Maryland, but I worked for a bank firm.
Yeah, I thought you did like real estate mortgage stuff, right? Mortgage law. Yeah, that's got to be boring.
That did foreclosures. So my job was to
all the real estate lawyers we have are like antiques, dude. Like, they're all old.
Yeah, it's a horrible job I was at. And it's funny because after 2 years, I was like the most senior in my role. Like, everyone who works that job is basically a fresh out of law school attorney, and then they
quit. They quit so fast.
Yeah, they quit or they leave or they. Yeah. There were 4 above me when I got there, and then there were 3 below me when I left. And it's that kind of job that if AI should be doing any legal work, that's the first one they'll do. Because it's just making sure all of the documents line up, making sure that, all the marriage relationships that were on the deed are, the same or whatever. It was very boring. And I'm glad to be done with that. And it's a lot more exciting down here in Texas because we do First Amendment, Second Amendment, Fourth Amendment rights. He's not the guy I work with. He's proudly not a plea attorney. He's a trial attorney. And he fights, and I haven't seen him lose yet.
Nice.
Hung juries, unfortunately.
Nice.
Notably in his case, but that's a whole story. If you guys want to keep up with that,
give me 1 second here. TVT says, "Can I pin that link?" What? Oh, the link for the. Let me see if I can find it again. The link for the NPC awards. All right.
NPC awards.
Yeah. So there's a channel called. Actually, I don't know what his channel's called, but it's this guy that calls himself NPC, and he has an award presentation for streamers. And last year, I won like best educational or something. And
nice.
So you guys all go over there and just vote for me. I'm up for best educational again, I think, something like that. And the guys that I'm up against are losers. So you don't want to support. You don't want those guys to win. Like, literal losers. Like, they're not educational at all. At best, they're like drama channel people. So, and of course, the machine lies, who's never taught anybody anything but to be dumb. So I pinned that link, bro. I did. I pinned it. There it is. Go vote. Vote often. Use all your alt accounts. I'm not telling you to cheat, but I'm not telling you not to cheat either. I'm kidding. That would be mean. That would be mean. Yeah, so that's pretty funny. And Tyler needs a link. Tyler can have the damn link. Give me 1 second. I will give him the damn link. Where is it? Tyler the Dread. Do you pronounce it liberal? Libertad? What do you pronounce that? All right, Tyler can have the link. He better not get us off topic, though. Hey, Pentuple left. Left behind a Les Paul back there. You voted 4 times, used wife's account. That's what's up. That is what is up. That is what is up. So, use the wife's account. They get too if they get too froggy, we'll jump over and get the Crucible to go over there. I'll tell Andrew to tell everybody to go vote. It'd be like 10,000 votes or some shit. I wouldn't do that. So,
hey, well, I mean, that's what he wants. He wants all the votes. The creator just wants all the votes, right? They're legitimate votes from the Crucible. It's just all attention. It's a game of the game we're playing, right?
Had you met Andrew before?
No.
No.
It's funny that I didn't know going. Oh, I'm out. No, I'm just kidding.
Everything this dude says here is a lie or slander.
I'm up for Streamer of the Year, which is the main award. Really?
Hey, that's awesome.
That's not what is that really it? It just says Educational Sector Voting Week is here. Wait, throw me a link to the one that says I'm Streamer of the Year. Because that would be rad. Because then we'd have to get Andrew in on that because, he is the Streamer of the Year. If you look at his stats, he pulls in more. He's like number 4 in Super Chats. Period.
I believe that.
Period. Like
whatever podcast is probably up there too, right?
Whatever does pretty good. But I think Andrew actually eclipses him because he goes live more often.
Right. Yeah, I had never met him, and I didn't even know. You knew that I didn't make the decision to come even up to Nashville for that weekend until like 4 days before.
Yeah,
very last minute for me. But it was just funny that I had actually sort of gone down the Andrew Wilson rabbit hole, and I'd been watching a ton of his debate performances before I got there. So it was cool to meet him. I was excited too because I was like, it's a guy I've been watching for like the last month.
Super cool dude.
Yeah, nice guy.
Yeah, very,
very hospitable. Let me and Sadie come into the bar event at Friends in Low Places, even though we weren't at DebateCon. But that was just there's no way I could buy the ticket up to Nashville and go to DebateCon. But that's why we were so
you've been promoted, Tyler,
about GridCon.
That's what now.
That's why we were so stoked about GridCon. That was really what we came up for.
For Andrew's party,
we wanted to be at your event, and we really do. And I know you've already said this a bunch that you're thinking about doing it again, and you're happy with how it went. I can't express how much Sadie and I, at least, loved that whole event. It was just so fun meeting all of the people.
You weren't even there that long. Like it went all day, dude.
We got there at 3. Yeah, I wish we had gotten there earlier, but I got there. I got to Nashville at 11:30 that day, 11:30 a.m. or so. So we went back to Sadie's house for a little bit, and then we went. I think at 3 or 4 I joined. I'm glad we came when we did because that was when I found out.
That's when you were supposed to be debating. Like I was seriously, I was like, where the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, no, but we definitely will be more on top of it next time. But and I'm sure chat will intimate the same thing. It was such an awesome event. You've got to do it again. And I think everyone who participated in it.
I think we're going to do it in the same venue. Same venue. Next time, I think we're going to do the upstairs will still be the main debate area. I want to have. Tell me how you think this would work, because I don't know that we're going to have I think we could probably comfortably. I would love to get like 50 people to show up. It would be awesome if we could get 100 people to show up just for that event, but we'll see. It would be awesome if in that front room that's kind of like off by itself without the big roll-up door, it would be awesome to set up in there to do like round table debates where people could just like a panel where people could just come and go and tag each other in and out.
That'd be awesome. That'd be so fun. That'd be probably my favorite.
What do you think?
I think that's a great idea. I actually love that idea.
Yeah.
I think too that you could have advertised a little bit that we'd have food, we'd have things to accommodate you for staying more than just a couple of hours. And when people showed up and realized that, like most people I heard say, "Oh, there's food," and things of that nature. So, like if you advertise it as an all-day program, like, look, we're starting at 10 a.m. Here's what's going to be offered. Here's what's going to go on. Then we're going to do this in the afternoon. Then we're going to go do this at night. I think like people would see like, oh shit, I could spend the whole day there because we didn't think it started. Like I'm wondering when my debate was. We went out for lunch. We didn't think it started until 2-3 o'clock, and we got there early and like it was packed.
Yeah. Well, I told everybody I was going to start up at 10, but so let me ask you this: do you think because this next event, I'll have to at least break even on it. Do you think if I sold tickets for $100 a hit, do you think people would pay? Do you think somebody would pay $100 to come hang out and do that?
I think so. Yeah.
I think you'd see a drop off at least though of people. I think 100. Like you'd probably see a couple people.
50?
75? I don't think that's crazy. I think Sadie says yes.
Sadie says yes.
Well, Sadie lives at a negotiable.
Yeah, I mean, people got to think about coming up. I'm not talking about just the people who want to be in the debates. I'm talking about like people that are coming up to, people that are coming up to just hang out like we did. So we had several people there that just hung out. TVT is going to come up for just. I think
100 is reasonable.
I think 100 is reasonable. I gotta do something.
When I looked at DebateCon, I was like, "There's no way."
That's crazy. That. Yeah. All right, give me one sec. TVT's coming up to talk for a second. What's up, TVT?
Hey, how's it going, Grid?
Mm-hmm. What's up, man?
All right, so yeah, I'll just explain it to you quickly. So basically, MPC is gonna host an awards show again.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of appreciation for streamers, and everybody kind of gets a little bit of exposure out.
Mm-hmm.
So how it works is basically like this award currently that you're going for. It's like a round robin battle, right? So you're battling all these three other guys,
mm-hmm.
and then if you win, you move on to the next round.
Oh.
Okay, so and there's 9 groups. So I think they've done 3 already. You're the 4th one.
Okay.
So then it'll kind of be
Who
like
won the other 3.
What was it? I think Marathon Kev won the last one for that Vegas sector.
Okay. I didn't know he streamed, but okay.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't really either. And the other 2 groups, I think they're just like, there wouldn't be people I think
So I got this. What you're saying is
well, and then we got one coming up with I believe Speakeasy, Rob, Sarah, and somebody else, can't remember. I'll have to look. But yeah.
Rob versus Sarah.
So yeah, there's some heavy hitters coming up, right? So it's not going to be an easy award to win, right? I guess it's like whoever's people vote more, right? I guess what's going to be.
Well, Rob will easily eclipse Speakeasy and Sarah.
Yeah, he'll probably win. I'm thinking he'll win his round for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just about people showing up, right, and actually voting. So I mean, anything can happen, really.
Yeah, I mean.
And then there will be other awards given out on the award show as well. But this one is kind of the big one that the community is kind of voting on.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, hopefully I can win at least best educational, and maybe we'll go for the overall. Although honestly, if I got to go against Rob, I mean, who cares? It's let him win. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, I've been posting your round here in like every chat that I'm in. So I mean,
that's awesome, dude. Really appreciate that.
You've come back. I think you were at like, it was like 43% for Machine Lies, and
yeah, he probably had his entire audience go over him.
Yeah, you were probably about 20 votes behind, I think. And then it looks like somebody was saying that
you didn't know about it. It's because nobody knew about it.
Yeah, exactly, right? It just came out like 2 days ago, so.
Yeah. Well, we'll pimp this shit out, man.
But yeah. Anyway,
yeah,
I'll
bribery is a successful path. That's true.
Yeah, I think somebody paid like $70 to get themselves a bunch of votes or something. Apparently, I was just laughing my face off.
That seems bad. Well, all right, man. Hey, I really appreciate the heads up. I mean, I some people were messaging me that, but I've been busy all week. So,
what do you think about this?
What do I think?
$25 head fee, then you throw up a big ass grill in that big ass parking lot right next door. You sell some cabasas, with some peppers and onions on them for like $10 a piece. Get us some bottles of water for $3.50. All that shit you bought for free, we're just giving out.
All inclusive.
Monetize it. No. Yeah, maybe you could do that. Maybe you could do like, the fucking Trump gold card pass. You pay $100. You just walk up and say, hey, give me a fucking kubasa. And they're like, let me see that gold card. And that's it. And you're done.
Look at this.
I mean,
now I understand why you simp for Israel so hard. It makes sense.
All right, guys. Well, I'll hop down.
Hey, thanks, TVT. Really appreciate it.
Jokes here.
Okay, take her easy. Go vote.
So I feel like that if I do it kind of right, it'll be worth the because what I want to do. Let me lay this out for you. So what the next one will be, I think, will be we will have a Friday evening gathering, which will just be a party, no debates. Maybe we'll do some online interviews and shit like that, but really easy. Then Saturday,
roundtable that night.
We could do kind of
that's gonna be so fun.
We could do like an interview. We could do like a man in the crowd interview as people show up and be like, hey, what do you think? What are you looking forward to tomorrow? That kind of thing. Then I want to do the debates I want to start at like 9 o'clock in the morning and go to like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and then have a party till like midnight. Right? And then just cut everything off at midnight, just like we did last time. Just, hey, fuck out, go away. And then Sunday, nothing. Like Sunday, go to church, make peace with your God for whatever you did Saturday and Sunday. I mean, Friday and Saturday, and just or go home. Make it to work on time Monday morning. My goals would be to have nobody have to miss work. Maybe clock out a little early on Friday, but not going to miss a full day of work. You'd be back early enough Sunday so that you could, be ready, nice and fresh as a daisy for Monday morning. And I would, and of course, your $100 gets you fed Friday, probably lunch on Saturday. Your $100 get, it's just that this last event I spent right just under 12, I think. I haven't totaled it all up, but just under 12. Now, some of that was stuff that will come back to me later. And, it's, I had to, and I didn't know what I didn't know about renting stuff. And, I spent maybe a little bit more than that. I always refine everything. If I can do the next event, my cost right around, say, $5,000, $6,000. If I could get 100 people at, $100, I make some money. If I get 50 people at $100, I break even again, and I'm okay. Right?
Yeah, well, then, and the more you do this, hopefully, a big part of this is the content that you're making. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, the content will, be more I don't know. Whether that's I don't know. I'm not a business-minded guy, but it would make sense. Like that could be like the big source of the profit from it. As long as you break even on that, if this gets to a point where the content itself is really successful, I think that's probably where the
content was shockingly good at the last debate. I mean, it was like all right, so modern day debate has to be clipped and they do post-production to make it a good show. We were live and it was badass. Like it just every single debate just was on it. And I really like that. So, you know, I want to reach out to like Elgato and have them maybe come out and set up a booth and maybe pay me a little bit, because there'll be basically everybody coming streams. Right.
It's true. Oh, yes. Yeah.
And I'm going to reach out to like Black Magic and have them come out, and I'm going to see if they'll come out and set up a booth and show off cameras and video editing gear and stuff like that. And just reach out to all of these companies and say, hey, I know it costs you money to get here and you're probably not going to really make it back on this event, but I'm going to keep doing these and we'll get there. PPPPEEPPPP says, needed better audio though? No, we didn't need better audio. We needed people to talk into the fucking microphones. That's what we needed. What's up, Powder Dusty? How are you? Yeah,
the setup I thought was great.
Sorry,
the only issues you had were the side cameras, but you didn't even really care.
Yeah, I only used them once. Yeah, I only used them once. And it was just that one camera that apparently needed a firmware. I mean, I'm using it right now.
I think the side cameras would be good for recording so that when you do edit it later, you can have the different angles. But for the live stream, it was perfectly fine just the way it was.
Mm-hmm. So
I don't know how much you plan to do with any of it.
I may, no guarantee I will, but I may replace all my cameras, which are great cameras. They're Panasonic Lumix. They work perfect. Everything's good. They're beautiful pictures, everything else. I might replace them all with Blackmagic studio cameras, which will record in 6K, which YouTube can't even stream 4K. So the video quality will be shockingly good, especially if we go into like a post-production and make shorts and make all of these things. It will be ridiculous. It would be ridiculously good. PPPPEEPPPP. Maybe that wasn't the issue, but it sounded bad. Yeah, so it sounds bad when people don't. I understand now why Brian on whatever literally yells at people every 5 minutes to speak into the damn microphone. And the worst offenders were Rob Knorr and Tom Foolery, because they would literally Rob's mic was aimed at his throat, and you could hear him, but it wasn't good. Tom Foolery kept doing this and talking to his mic was over here and he's talking over here, and I'm like, bro. It was great. And then so that was awesome. But and the biggest complaint about the audio was actually was not the audio itself, but the setup where I had the TTS and the alerts and all that turned on, which I still haven't turned back on yet, but I needed to. Pence getting roasted in his chat. He ought to be.
Just ignore them.
He ought to be.
They're a bunch of my chatters are a bunch of fools.
His name is Peep, or her name is Peep. But I don't mean to judge. I can't tell from your name.
It's a her.
Yeah. So I may, and actually, the reason that I would do that is if I'm going to do these events, having cameras that are recorded in 6K, even though we'll stream in like 1080p, right, or whatever, and but being able. God damn it. He eats more than male roosters. What's wrong with you?
Ban Vox Populi. Ban him. He's no good. He's a no good chatter.
Man,
he'll seethe. He'll seethe for 2 hours if you ban him for a minute.
Oh, I know Jason. Jason's fine.
Ben, what the fuck? I'm just kidding. Peeps a guy. I just lied. I'm sorry.
So,
I thought it'd be funny.
It's all right. Everyone tries. Not everybody succeeds. But yeah, so I think if I go ahead and buy the studio cameras, the video footage will be so good that I'll probably actually pay somebody to do the post-production work and all of that and make it look like fucking TV, like real, like big time. But I didn't realize that I could get a camera that records in 6K like at a reasonable rate. But apparently you can. And you can record. So they have a 8-channel recorder, so I could have up to 8 cameras all recording. They record all the time, no matter which camera you're displaying. So all the cameras are recorded. Yeah. And then it works with you sniff some of Dusty's powder. Damn. That's we're getting there. We're getting pretty done. At Landon AFTV. Landon AFTV says, who is the guy on the top right with the limp wrist? Wow.
He's just trying to clip farm.
Yeah, they're all clip farming.
Ban them all. Ban them all.
So,
this is
Cam,
what my
yes.
streams are like. It's bleeding over into yours because I'm here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so
They're
4K and 6K is a huge drain. 1080 is more than acceptable while you're streaming. However, when you go to post-production and put up clips and shorts and even the short video, 10 or 15 minute videos, 6K, man, it just pops. I didn't actually think there was a difference until I watched the 6K video and I was like, holy shit.
We got you up. You're 8% over that other guy now. We shared it in a couple chats.
Oh, nice. 8%. Let's go. Well, I'll burn it down tomorrow. I keep forgetting about it. I should have, while I was on Josh's stream today, I should have got him to do it. Let's go. Anyway, yeah, so the video equipment may be different, but better. The computer will stay the same. It's a good computer. The PC will. Audio, I don't know. Mics are good, but I don't know how I'm going to tape them to people so that they talk into them.
If you go all day, and I might do too, if the slots are available. Cleaner and I are about to do a 1v1, and that's going to probably get pretty interesting. The little ways we go with it. That might be something fun to have during the day.
Did you guys ask me about doing that? I've had a lot of people ask me about doing debates, and then they don't get back in touch with me, and I'm like, do you still want to do it?
We floated it around a couple of times, and now we finally rested on something. So, but yeah, no, we were floating ideas around, just could never find something good enough to compel to do an hour and a half, 2 hours on. But yeah, no, I'd like to, if there's room to get in there twice, why the hell not? And the roundtable shit, especially if that's isolated, and there's people hanging out there doing that, I would absolutely. I don't know if the wife's going to want to come a second time. She enjoyed meeting everybody, especially Rachel. She fangirled out and took a little selfie with her, gave her a hug. But I don't think she's going to want to come a second time, but we'll see.
I will.
Oh, she will.
She just yelled at you.
She said she'll come.
I heard. We all heard. You can take her somewhere nice this time.
We went to a pretty nice restaurant. Sadie brought us to after. She was really excited to meet Sadie. She said Pentuple was there.
Yeah.
I had a great time meeting her. It was nice.
I did not shave today, but it's not because of No Shave November. It's just I've been busy all damn day, and I just didn't shave. I am mogging hard right now. That's going to get clipped.
That is a great clip. I was just thinking that on my channel.
Yeah, that's not gonna go away. So that's all right. So, what are you up to, Tyler? other than just like causing trouble for everybody.
All right, so that dude that was security, I think his name was Adam. Jake knows his name. He came up and asked a question during my debate. I'm going on his show next week. Jake's going to host it. More of a change my mind thing because I guess it's his first debate.
An actual security guard or the guy who is doing what's her name security?
I think he had a Crucible jacket on. Let me check.
He was. Yeah, I don't know if he was actually doing security. He was just there. He was armed though.
Yeah, I'm sure there were quite a few people. What the fuck was his name?
I was armed. I'm still armed.
Wednesday, he sent it to me. I don't remember. I'll try to find it. But yeah, I'm doing something with him next week. I'm debating Indian Jesus on Confluence's channel. I'm debating Beth on Abe Lincoln's channel. I'm debating Cleaner on Sparky's new channel. And what's another one? I got one more coming up.
I've been replaced.
Well, you were going to host it. I didn't know he was starting his new channel, so I was going to have him like be the guy. He's going to try out his new debate show as like a beta test with us. And I thought you were going to host it.
It's definitely going to be beta.
He started his channel up in between there, so it's like you're just going to kind of
it, Jason?
Yeah. That's what we decided yesterday. And then I'm doing another one on Saturday, Elden Ring with Confluence, I'm pretty sure. So I'm busy.
Debating Elden Ring?
Elden Ring lore, which is the best ending for if you just generally as a person, what would be the best ending? Yeah, man. Why the hell we did it on this channel on Nerd Night, and we were like, that was fun.
Yeah, we got to do the Nerd Night again. We should do that next week. Actually, we should do it this week. If we can get enough people on there.
There was somebody I was really trying to get. She's a Lord of the Rings like lore person. She was really like this close to coming on here. Her name's Enemy Charlie, and then a bunch of stuff happened, and now she's not gonna.
Yeah.
I was this close to getting her on here for it, and then that all transpired.
You were going to get her on my debate wars or my debate night.
Yeah, on Nerd Night.
It's interesting because I had she was supposed to come out she was going to fly out for the thing, and so we had her all set up. Everything was looking good, and then she was like, "No, I've got this thing. I got this video thing that they're shooting, and she needed to be back Saturday for that." Okay. What I didn't realize is that she had committed to debate Andrew, and she got torched like so bad.
The worst part though was like 5 hours into her or whatever, then she starts insulting his wife and
6 hours.
Saying shit about Steven Crowder and this and then. I'm like, she's just going off the cuff because she's probably pissed off.
I don't think she was pissed off. I think that
she was out of her depth the whole time. I mean, she
I have a clip,
the statistics that we all reference all the time. You can tell she's visibly uncomfortable trying to keep the cool.
I don't think she's a debater. Like every time I've seen her debate, she gets blown the fuck out. Her arguments are weak as shit. She doesn't understand. I mean, I think she understands mechanics of debate. I think that she could probably name the fallacies, and she could probably.
I think she's just articulate because she reads fantasy books.
Yeah, I think she's articulate. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. She's really articulate, and so she can sound like she's debating, but her points are like bullshit. Like I've got this. Let me see if I can find this clip. Do we have the clip? I think we've got the clip. Yeah, see if I got the clip. I got to turn all the way around to this screen.
While you're listening to that, the dude's name is Adam King.
Yes.
That's who I'm going to be doing the Israel thing with, too. So I got a busy week ahead of me.
Cool. All right, let me... The funny thing is, this is on Gibbs's thing. And this was done through Discord, which only losers obviously use Discord. So let me see if I can. find this. Okay. You guys can talk. You don't have to. Wait a minute.
Well, yeah, it's just going to devolve into juiceburging if you let Tyler just talk about.
Wow.
I'm arguing with enemy Charlie right now on X about abortion. So hold on one second.
That really sounds like cope. But I you guys can call your own cope.
This is like what the third panel we've been on today. So
it is true. We've memed too close to the sun on this one. Truly,
we have, and and it was already over the juiceburging before he discovered it like 2 weeks ago because his friend said some unhinged shit, and the cops came to do a welfare check on him.
And Candace Owens retweeted it.
Wow.
It was a big story. It was like trending all over X. He's in chat right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was nuts. But
I think any reasonable person would see a couple of those comments and be like, maybe the police should just do a welfare check on him.
No. Damn. You guys are going hard.
Ultimately, they left. It is what it is.
He knows he knew his rights. He told him to fuck off properly. That was handled well.
So what are you debating with enemy Charlie on abortion about, though? Are you anti-abortion?
No. I was saying that I prefer the stigmatization aspect of it to stay in place because I want it to be a safe, legal, and rare option and not to be thought of as a throwaway contraceptive afterthought. And instead of responding to that, she said, well, I don't think it's technically contraception. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. I'm trying to say the sentiment, not the literal technical definition. She's weaponizing stupidity on me right now.
Well, I was gonna say, didn't you watch the debate with Andrew, and you're gonna waste your time actually trying to debate with her?
I get along with her very well. I've been on her show a couple times and stuff. She's very nice to me. She didn't call my wife a whore
yet. All right, so the volume's kind of low on this guy, so you may have to crank it up. But this is enemy Charlie. This is the kind of arguing we can expect from enemy Charlie.
Would be the one let go. Because we did not have the resources necessary to hire more medical professionals.
Wait, just to ask, like, because now I'm curious, like, you say this is like actually like a predominant culture issue, like, or
what I'm saying is that when something like the VA is extremely underfunded and you need to keep your clause in specific,
note the expression on my face.
To get the care that they need. I left because I knew that person that they could not.
I got to stop this a second. So what she's talking about here, to give context, is she's basically saying that a resident had made a pass at her. And rather than report him for it, she left. She quit the job.
But they could replace me. So I think you're going to get weird, sex crazy things happening because you're putting people in positions of power that they could abuse. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
No, it's absolutely absurd. What?
Yeah, please explain that to the rest of us translate.
Yeah, how did that make sense, brother? Make it make sense.
Okay, so like, I guess. Like maybe try to translate to like conservative counterparts. The argument would be say you're like a restaurant, and
I forgot Pentuple was there. It's so good.
But I was in a small area with not very many people I could hire, so I would have to retain shitty employees. And if someone complained,
it's hard to imagine she ever was transitioning.
It is.
Because I don't have the funding or
for 10 years. She just cross-dressed, I guess.
Did she say that she did it for 10 years?
That's correct. So
I think so.
If you further underfund it, you're going to get even more fucking weird orgies or weirder things happening because you are putting people in positions where they are invaluable, dude.
Okay, this is a lot, Charlie.
That's illegal.
Right? It's a weird argument to make.
Sure.
Take away
Well,
money
you just
from the
posted a
veterans
sex crazed
association.
orgy
They're gonna
shit
have
bullshit.
orgies
I'm
there.
sorry. I just thought that
And,
was funny as fuck.
I'm going to tell you that if that happened, all the vets I know would vote for
So
that
the
shit.
audience understands. Yeah, someone else posted a link in our group chat.
Yeah, sorry about the audio, guys. I have my speakers turned up a little too loud because this is so fucking. Okay, can we move off of the absurdity and back into the debate portion, please?
Sure, go ahead,
Yeah,
Grizz.
I'm kinda
Reframe this how you
bored.
want. Go ahead,
Actually, Pentuple guy has been waiting, and I keep talking.
Go ahead, Pentuple. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Pentuple. You can go.
Yeah, I had to be nice to Pentuple there. Had to be nice to him.
I was cooking. I have no idea what we were talking about. I don't remember.
That was so hilarious that it was just crazy. I don't use headphones, peeps. Sorry. Yeah, I had to turn my volume up really high for that, so I apologize. And I forgot to mute my mic. So yeah, it was. God. And then you know, right? Oh, so and this is right. You know, she literally said in the debate with Andrew, because Rachel kept her kids with the three husbands, which actually two husbands, one long-term affair, high school sweetheart sort of thing. She's more promiscuous than getting pregnant by three boyfriends and then aborting them. What?
Yeah,
that's
well,
dumb.
It's so stupid because what they have to do is redefine multiple words for this claim. So they have to redefine baby daddy. A husband's not a baby daddy. All right.
Yeah.
Just objectively, nobody uses the term baby daddy for a husband when you're married to them at the time that the kid is born. And second, promiscuous doesn't have to do with how many sexual partners you have. It's how discretionary you are with those sexual partners. So if she's only ever engaging in sexual activities with long-term relationship partners, that's not promiscuity. No, honestly, no matter how many you have. You could have 15 over your 60-year relationship. That's not promiscuity.
I don't know,
Tyler, because promiscuity is having no discretion between your sexual partners. If you are in a long-term relationship, if you have a 5-year relationship and another 5-year relationship, Tyler, listen, if you have a 5-year relationship and you only have sex with that partner, and then you have another 5-year relationship and you only have sex with that partner, it doesn't matter how many times you do that. That's not what the word promiscuous means. There is no number where at which point it becomes promiscuous. The definition analysis doesn't change based on the number. It changes based on how discretionary you are with your sexual partners. So, like, any answer that you would, when you criticize there, any number you would come up with would be arbitrary. What, 5, 6, 7? The word promiscuous is used to define somebody who is not discretionary with their sexual partners. That's what it means. It has nothing to do with body count. There's probably other words that would have to do with somebody who has a 10 body count and has done it over a long term and not, has still been discretionary. But what we're talking about here is promiscuity. Promiscuity is how discretionary you are with your sexual partners.
All right, I'll give
how
you
many
this
you've
one.
had, as long as you've only been with people that you've had serious relationships with.
This
so
is
they're
why I don't take any
redefining
of
all
his
these
Jew
words
sermons
because it's a
seriously,
gotcha.
because when he wants to make a real argument, he can, and none of the Jew arguments ever do. So.
Fair enough.
I hope they give you more than 7K, buddy.
Fair enough. Yet Charlie did admit to having multiple bodies. It's very funny. But she had to make the definition between men and women because, both. Yeah, Peep, that is what we call serial monogamy. It's to be looked for, honestly. It's based. So.
Promiscuous is like you'll sleep with someone on the first date. That's like promiscuous. That's what we're talking about.
It is an Aussie wrote a song about that. Have you guys ever heard it? You guys are old. You guys are not as old as me. So, but there was a guy who actually wrote a basically, it's just a funny song about, first dates. Let me see if I can dig that up here. Let's see what we can do.
Someone in my chat's asking how they can find Grid One Motorsports on.
It's
primarily
An
YouTube,
Unreasonable
right?
Man. An
Unreasonable
Unreasonable
Man. That's right.
No, that was Adam. He's looking to, find Grid. He heard he was too friendly to
Oh
Israel.
my God, relax.
Adam.
No, Adam's cool. Tyler doesn't like him. Tyler thinks he's.
All right, let's see if this works out. Here, you're gonna like this song, Pentuple.
Jew lover. That's funny.
I feel like that could be your theme
Tyler
song.
ran off. He hated that.
Yeah, Tyler hated that song. Tyler hated that song. He's probably like, he's got to go reassure his wife that he's not the one playing that song. Hey, what's up, man?
It's time. It's time for me to go. It's bedtime. I'm sorry, and I'm not sorry to you guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. Ah, that's right. That's right. Well, we hope to see you tomorrow.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Not on the menu.
Right. No, I obey on the first command, so I usually make.
You obey on the first command, so you don't get the beat. You don't get the belt. All right.
No. Just like when BB tells me what to do, I say, "How high, sir, do you want me to jump?" Absolutely.
That's
okay. Pentuple, you're gay. Grid, take it easy.
We'll see you. Have a good night. Well, all right then.
Yeah.
He was here. Now he's not. Adam the Angler, you're welcome to come up. To be able to do that, you'll need to get the link. To get the link, you have to go to the Discord, go to the go down the list to the waiting room and say, "Hey, I want the link." And one of the moderators will get you the link. Rob coming in for a raid. All right. I like Rob.
W. Rob.
Bloody Rob. I've been bloody robbed. Oh, you're good for the night? Passing out? Took your VA med and smoked a bunch of weed? Hey, man. You do you. So, I've never, I think it's weird. It weirds people out that I've never drank or smoked or done any kind of drugs. I think it weirds people out a little bit. Because I seem so normal, right? Like I'm not bludgeoning you about the head with a Bible or a book of morals or anything like. I mean, I do tell people, all the time. Yeah, I tell people all the time. They're like, or what the one I get most is, well, aren't you going to try and convert me to Christianity, or aren't you? I don't want you to try and tell me, what I'm doing is wrong. And I'm like, hey, I'm not the one going to hell. Right? Like I'm doing the best I can not to. You choose your own adventure. What's up, Lost Avarice? How are you? It's a choose your own adventure, right? You make your own choices. You live with your choices. You die with your choices. You go to the afterlife with your choices.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, I think it's surprised just because you're older and people, especially my age, it's pretty rare. I think, especially my age, people just.
It was rare when I was in
stuff. I feel like I'm rare because I've only ever smoked weed before, and like I know people that have done crazy stuff like that. I didn't even. It's always weird hearing that people I went to high school with. I'd find out one of them tried heroin or something, and I'm like, what? I guess I wasn't in the club.
Hey,
but, they would tell me.
Rob Nora's guys did. This is not the panel verse. This is panel verse adjacent. We're not the panel verse. We have better snacks. Proven. If you were at DebateCon, I've got better snacks.
Yeah, we still beef with the panel verse? I'm Team Rob, so I
don't really have a beef with anybody. I just don't care. And it's worked wonderfully so far. So, yeah. Well, what's up, all you Norbiters? Come on in. Have a seat. Sit down. We're going to be talking. We're going to have a great time tonight. Send in those super chats because we're kind of light on those tonight. We need to pump up the volume of those. WMD is the bot. it does not like it if you put periods in front of a string of letters because it thinks that you're linking something, and it will time you out for like 60 seconds or something. You want the panel on a spit? Okay. Yeah, I don't got beef with anyone, but all y'all motherfuckers are chickens. That's slick, Cam. I may use that one in the future. I may use that one in the future. So, yeah, no violence until it's time for violence, and then I'll let you know when it's time for violence, and then we'll do violence. It's proven that we've had all of these debates lately. The left should by now understand that they do more violence, but we're better at it. They have higher violence level, but we have higher lethality. Like, so, yeah, I mean, the stats don't lie, baby. Like, okay, all right, you're gonna beat me up, but if I choose to do violence, you know, it's pretty awful.
Yeah, that's why it's a dying movement.
Yeah,
that's what I think. Because hindsight,
literally,
will, prove me right or wrong, but
yeah,
I don't see them. I don't see them doing very well in the future. Like I said, they had the government shut down. They had everything that they could muster up for this last November elections like a month ago. I don't think there's much left in that tank. Yeah. And I don't think they realize people are kind of done with them. I mean, the fact that you see this internal divide on the right where we're basically just infighting. We're not even like talking to the Democrats anymore. We don't. It doesn't matter. And actually, Sadie and I wanted to invite you. I'll reach out to you about this because we wanted to do a video about this. But the debate has evolved. The interesting debates and discussions are happening on the right. There's really no interest. Like, we don't need to debate how many illegals we need to let in forever anymore, right? Like, the interesting discussion is like, okay, if we're going to deport them, where do we start? How do we do this?
That's
like,
a solid
all of those
point.
Discussions internal on the right. How do we address this Israel question? That's the leftists are, like I said, when at the No Kings protest, they're basically desperately trying to prevent people from leaving their movement. None of their signs appeal to anyone who isn't already so deluded mentally.
But here's the thing, though. Here's what concerns me. Let me run this by you. Let me bear with me a second. So you are seeing real time the fracture of the left, right? And what's always been the case is that it was always very fractured. They would just all vote in the same direction. They were willing to, which is what the right doesn't do, right? Like, if I don't agree with these people over here, we're not voting in their direction, right? Like, that's just the way it is. The right just doesn't do that. We're not monolithic. The left has always been very monolithic, even when they are in fact fractured, right? Like, they're bunch of, you got commies, you got socialists, you got classic liberals, you got Kennedy blue dog Democrat, you got all of these things, right? But now the fracturing is so massive. What kind of bugs me, what I'm trying to get my head around is what happens, because I think you're right. I think they're breaking apart. I don't think that they're like going away forever, or it's the end of the party. I think
you don't think in like 20 years we're gonna look back and be like, oh yeah, maybe we should have known that after they ran a senile old man who could barely keep it together and then just threw in Kamala Harris.
That's what I'm trying to understand.
This is why I think Tim Walz was selected. People always say, oh, well, she could have picked a better candidate. What legitimate presidential candidate would have sunk their career? Like, this is why Gavin Newsom, Josh Shapiro never would have joined her for 3 months.
Let's come back to that. That's a great discussion. That's a great discussion. Let me work with what I was where I was going. I think you're going to see this massive fracture because the standard Democrats have been able to stomach the socialist and the communist and all of those really off-putting branches for so long because they all voted in the same direction. But now they're not. They're not voting in the same direction. They don't stand for the same things, and they don't agree on anything anymore. So that it's kind of scary that they will fracture and into all of these splinter groups that then do really very weird things, right? It's I just feel like it's going to be really bad, right? I just feel like that there's going to be some problems there, and violence. By problems, I mean like violence, riots, protests, like we haven't seen before, and all of that, right? Especially, I think when the Muslims and the Christians, when the Muslims show who they really are, like really are, I think the Christian left is going to have a real problem. Like that's the end of that. What do you see? So are they going to like form 3 parties? Do you think that's what's going to happen?
I don't think there'll ever be 3 parties. I just don't think it'll work out. But what I do think is that in the future, what we see as the right-wing divide right now will become the 2 parties, which is ultimately where I think we probably should be. And also, I don't think that it's necessarily natural that every election we have is nearly 50-50. You know, I don't think it is beyond reason that you could have a country that's actually united and goes, you know, like, why couldn't we're so used to presidential elections being like so close, right? But that almost seems a little unnatural, I would think. I don't think that we have such severe disagreements with all of our neighbors, right? I don't really think we're 50-50. So this weird political system that we're in is and I don't know how this, you know, AI will play into it. I don't know how our individual social media algorithms will play into this.
Yeah, we got days of stuff to talk about on that stuff. Who is a gentleman on the right? This is Pentuple. Pentuple, head of MAGA headquarters, Texas. He is here. We're having a great discussion tonight. We've talked about all kinds of things. I've got to be honest. Our local moronic leftist is here. I'm going to just put this up really quickly. Recession, if not depression, incoming. We're actually coming out of a depression that just Biden never admitted that it was a depression. They actually changed the metric. They actually changed the metric so that it wouldn't fit the definition of depression anymore. I thought that was classy. The word was classy that when Biden did that. $5 comes in from Bucket Button. I appreciate the offer, but when it's time to play, you can keep the violins. Music is for those filthy. Yeah, we got you. We got you, bro. Yes. My man Pentuple's on the edge. He is on the cutting edge.
Yes.
So yeah.
Attorney Penn on X if you want to follow and get in arguments with me. That's not for you, not laws. You can stay up in Canada and keep believing whatever you want.
Correct. Ozma
eating yellow snow. Yeah,
Ozma 7339 says, just like they changed the definition of gain of function research. Yeah, I mean, so that's actually what we see the leftists do so much of the time is they actually will just change the definition. It's like, oh, no, that doesn't mean that anymore. Or it means something totally different now. And it's very interesting. So, yeah. What does MAGA HQ have to do for an endorsement? Well, he'll be back soon. And he'll let you know. Hey, Chair is here to entertain us. For those of you from Rob Noor's channel, this is a much more office type chair. Chair is waving at you. Chair wants you to know that the Chair is having a great time. He's happy to be here. Chair is happy to be here. Notlo says, I don't use Twitter and neo-Nazi hangout. You read those headlines, boy, and absorb them verbatim. No, actually, I don't do that.
I should have known he's a Redditor on Blue
I think
Sky.
he is a Redditor.
Of course.
Mrs. D comes in, celebrates 5 months of membership. Happy thanks. Hey, yes, sir, Grid and Pentuple. Happy Thanksgiving to my American homies. Stay safe and God bless. Thank you so much, Mrs. D. Mrs. D is a wonderful person. Jess Gerald celebrates 2 months. of membership. Got a buddy asking what he should get for a daily carry. What does the Weapon Master suggest? So my current daily carry and something I would highly recommend is the SIG P365 Fuse. It's a more full-size gun, but it's still very compact, very easy to carry every day, concealed. It's what I had. Actually, Gerald, I had it on me the entire time that I was that we were doing the event at DebateCon at my event during DebateCon. I had the gun on the entire time. Nobody knew until I pulled it out, and it's like, okay, I got to sit down a minute. That thing, it's uncomfy sometimes. Yeah, P365X is a good one, but the P365 Fuse is a great gun. I don't carry a P320 more, but the P365 is legend. It's really good. It's really good. So, yep. Awesome.
Hell yeah.
So what do you think about this fracturing on the left? Because I've been saying that at one point in time, or at a point in time, the left is going to split. So it's always been fractured, but it's got to split. What are you saying? What do you think is going to happen? Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, I don't know if I understood the question. I just might be fried brain right now, but you're asking me about the left?
Yeah,
I think they're just fading away. I think they're desperately trying
you
to
think they're
hold on
fading
to whoever they have left. Yeah, I think it's fading, and I think that.
But we're going to see those same people who are socialist, communist, all of that. I'll let you gather your thoughts a second. Let me read this. $5 comes in from Fuck It Button again. That's gross, guy. Don't do verbatim in Grid's chat. In honor of the last chat, I do carry CZs here in Texas. No homo. Yeah, absolutely. I think that a CZ is a fine weapon. Our resident lib says that guns are lame. You know what guns are? Guns are awesome.
Guns are sweet. I don't know. I mean, I think about a lot of my left-wing friends, and a lot of them have, a lot of the ones that I know that are reasonable, and, I'm very openly MAGA, so perhaps there's a bit of a different crowd that sticks around me or not. But a lot of them have been, very annoyed with the left. I mean, and as soon as Kamala got the nomination, I knew that, like, okay, this is falling apart. There's people just don't even want to. So, like, you spend 2 years screeching about the importance of democracy, and then you run a candidate that didn't even have to go through the primary election.
Right.
I mean, there's just such a lack of credibility on the left, and you're right.
I
lot
agree
of my
with
friends
you.
that hold those positions like that, like Obama and stuff, they're still the same people.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you.
I think there's a level of it that with the popular vote, I like this, not necessarily the mob mentality, but there's a bit of a psychology there where it's like, okay, like people tend to be lazy intellectually, especially with politics, and kind of just go with the flow and what they think the majority is. So I think losing the popular vote was a huge damaging thing for them, because now they're not really playing from ahead anymore, even on paper.
That's true.
So I think a lot of people on the left are going to look towards the reasonable candidates, and whether they're on the right or left or Republican or Democrat or whatever, they're still going to want, perhaps government healthcare programs. They're going to want to push those things. But when it gets to the point, like I said, with the No Kings protest, what you're seeing come out of the Democratic Party is just aggression, anger, like they're upset. They're desperately trying to hold on, and they're making it like none of the signs. They're mad, really. And
yeah,
it's because
it's true.
They're no longer even trying to recruit into their movement. They're trying to prevent people from leaving it. Which is funny because they project onto us that we're a cult.
I want to come back to that. Give me 1 second. Thoughts on the CZ P10C? I have one. I carry it very often. Appendix in a tier 1 holster with an additional mag and kind of a sidecar configuration. Love the P10C. I love the grip. And I love everything about it. It's like what a Glock 19 should be, but isn't. Love the P10C. 1999 comes in from Nico Pluto. when you converse with them, listen. I think he's talking to the chat there. Listen to what we have to say, folks. We do try and know what we're talking about. It's really interesting that you say that. That's really, really good. But the thing is, they're still going to be out there, right? Like all of these groups are going to be out there. There may be more infighting. I agree with you. They may have lost the momentum. I can agree with that. It does seem very much it does seem like the momentum, all of the traction and all of that they had it's kind of lost. It's kind of like it's a word I'm looking for here. It's stalled, right? Like but at the same time, we're seeing these socialist Muslims get elected, right? And this is it's so much bigger, I think. There's so much going on.
Well, New York City is an interesting one because you've basically got Andrew Cuomo representing the right wing. So it's New York City, right? Like you have Andrew Cuomo versus Zoran Mamdani, and I think a lot of people are kind of at the point where, let's just throw in a wrench. You know what I mean? Let's just throw in anything we can. And I don't know how consequential it's going to be that Zoran Mamdani is the mayor. I'm not, so freaked out by it. I don't live in New York City anyway, so it doesn't matter for me. But I do think that generally the left this is what it would look like if the party was dying. And I think it's possible, like I was saying earlier, they had Joe Biden, who I think will be looked back on as kind of like, how did this happen? How did they have this 80-year-old guy who is visibly seen?
We agree on that. I think Trump's going to make a big deal out of that.
Well, I think it is a big deal. I think it's one of the reasons that the party has fallen out of favor of a lot of people, because a lot of the complaints they had about, they're just pushing old people on us and stuff, and then you're going to go out and openly support that. And then you have Kamala. And then I think, like, why people would say, why didn't you pick Gavin Newsom? Why didn't you pick Josh Shapiro? Why didn't you pick, J.B. Pritzker, whatever other prominent Democrat there is? But put yourself in their shoes. Why would Gavin Newsom, why would Josh Shapiro, 3 months before the 2024 election, sink his entire political career to lose with Kamala, right? So she ends up with Tim Walz.
I want to get into that. I'm glad you brought us back around to that. I want to answer this. So Notlows 2 says that very little. His political analysis totally backwards. Notlows, I have to be honest with you, your political balance has been so far off base the entire time you've been in my chat for the last year that I honestly, if you would just give me one solid piece of political analysis that wasn't completely deranged, we could have a conversation. I promise we could have a conversation. But until then, he's making sense. You're making mud pies out back with the 3-year-olds. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this deal, right? So you're right. I think that the Muslims, the age thing, all of that, and I do believe, and this is something I said when they were looking for someone to run, when they were guessing who was going to run with Kamala, and everybody was saying Buttigieg or Booty Juice. Right. Pardon me, Booty Juice. I want to say his name correctly.
He's
Booty
another
Juice.
Good example. Why would he join? Why would he sink his entire political career and lose with someone in 3 months?
Exactly. Everybody thought
the whole point that their credibility is just completely shot.
Yeah. And I think that Booty Juice wants to run for president at some point. And I think that he has that as a goal. And the same reason Newsom was kind of, he was under indictment when they went to him because in California because of the train that goes nowhere. He beat that kind of. And then he was, I think he's still under indictment in California for the train that goes to nowhere and where all the missing funds are. But he was able to kind of wiggle around that. But even when they were courting him, he wasn't going to throw in with Kamala at all. Why would he? Because he's one of those people that I think he really believes that he can run for president one day. And why would he want to be a VP on a losing ticket? And I think that Walz was the only person they could get that the public could stomach, that was, his political career is basically over anyway. So why wouldn't he say yes?
I mean, the Democrats, they put themselves in an indefensible position. They screeched about the 25th Amendment and then put up Joe Biden in his 80s. And then they screeched about democracy and the importance of, the people and their vote, and then ran a candidate who didn't have to get a single primary vote. And there's this big misconception, and I didn't realize a lot of Democrats think that Joe Biden had Kamala Harris on the primary ticket with him, but that's not how primaries work. Joe Biden could have chosen anyone after he won the primary. Kamala Harris was not.
Yeah, she wasn't even named.
The vice presidential role does not extend to the campaign. Right?
Yeah, she was on her way out the door until that debate, the debate with Trump, where he performed true to form so incompetently. You could even see they were feeding him the lines and he was still messing it up.
Right. Yeah. The question really, honestly, the only interesting question I think is whether that was the plan the whole time or whether they really just had to throw up whatever could work. Because I don't know that if you had time to plan, you would have, stuck yourself with Kamala Harris. But this is where we're at with the left. And I do think it's possible, whether this pans out or not. I'm not a fortune teller, but I think it's possible that we could look back on this in 20 years and be like, yeah, the Biden-Kamala debacle kind of was the end of the Democrats. Because there'll always be two parties. There'll always be two major candidates. That is how the system is going to work. But whether you're going to have it be this particular dynamic where you've got these two extremely oppositional candidate. This is why I always thought it was funny that people be like, oh, Trump's a liar. You're going to vote for a liar. Let's assume Trump is lying. He's still the only one that's even saying he's going to do what I want. The other guy's openly declaring that he's going to do what I don't want to happen. So it's like I take a 10% chance of Trump succeeding over a given that the other guy's not going to do anything that I want to see done. So in an ideal world, we would have candidates where it does come down to, are they capable of putting in that agenda? We haven't really had that in my lifetime. I haven't really been choosing between two candidates that have, similar platforms that I have, equal respect for. And I'm looking at, do I trust this guy? Do I think he has the skills to do it? I end up forced with, do you think, do you want this guy who says he's going to do what you want? Or do you want this guy that says he's going to do the opposite? So I do think, hopefully, our political system will evolve into more representing the people. And I don't think that like I said, I don't think that on the personal level, we're as divided as, the polling would show, or that like this, like your voting registration reflects. I think that generally speaking, and this is just true in my life, a lot of my friends who are leftists, we can sit down and we agree on a significant number of issues. But it's once you get into the political elements of it, the who's holding different seats in different offices and how we approach different issues, it just completely falls apart. And it feels a little bit unnatural. And I do think part of that is probably because we live in an age now where, when Twitter first started, when I first got on Twitter, which was, my late high school, what was trending on my Twitter was trending on your Twitter. If I saw that this was the big news story, you also saw that story. But now I can have a feed where the top 20 trending stories are completely unique compared to your top trending stories. Like I could be like, this is the biggest story of all time. This is a huge story this week. And then you haven't even seen it. You didn't even see it. It didn't even cross your radar. So I don't know what effect we're going to have with this whole algorithm, especially with AI and involved in it now. I think it'll be interesting. But my hope is that we would evolve into a place where the elections aren't always 50-50. It's not always that close and so oppositional. So.
Well, it's going to be it's going to be interesting going forward, right? Because we do have a fractured, a massively fractured Democrat Party. Before it was kind of fractured, right? You have people, basically, and that was just over like you had ideological liberals and you had socialists, basically. Now you've got communist, Muslim socialist, democratic social. You got all of these different brands. And it's going to be interesting to see how that all works out. Now, On the right, we seem to be coming together more and being willing to work with each other than I think we have in the past. Even though we'll yell at each other about, I don't want MAGA or something like that, I think that we're still voting in the same direction, with the exception of people like Counterpoints, whose claims vehemently to be a conservative, but yet I don't know that he has any actual conservative values. Right? I think he's a progressive, and that's actually my biggest concern is that progressivism is going to win in this Democrat Party shakedown, fall apart, whatever it is. So
we'll have to see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, right?
I think whether it pans out or not, what we are seeing, and let's say you're right, and that the Democrats somehow recover and take off and do very well. They're still at, in my view, the lowest point that they've been in a long time. Like things are not great over there right now, right? They got this whole thing through the government shutdown. They got those elections in, and then the government shutdown, magically ended. There's a whole conversation there about,
yes,
I think 5 Democrats probably would have ended the shutdown earlier if they weren't told by leadership, you will not be funded for your next election if you vote to end the shutdown right now. So there's some questions and issues with how the two-party system works, especially in the Senate.
I think there's some serious ethics issue for sure right now.
Yeah, but I think it's ironic. I think a lot of people saw through, especially once the Democrats decided to end the shutdown, that they were out there smug saying, oh, this is the Republicans' fault. Look how bad it looks for them, right? And it's like, you guys are the ones voting no. You think people can't see through that you're like taking advantage of the optics at the expense of all of these issues that you're so passionately screaming about during the government shutdown? I mean, it's almost like people being gaslit in real time. It's like you're here telling me, oh, I sure wish we could open up the government. Look how bad it is for them. Like, that's a clear incentive for them to keep it shut down and keep voting no. And then as soon as the elections end, they're like, oh, okay, I guess we'll just vote on the exact bill or whatever. Basically, no concessions were made.
Yeah.
It's just, I think that they're in a lot worse position than they think. And I think that the optics during the shutdown, I actually don't think they were that bad for the right. I really don't.
No, I don't think they were bad at all for the right. I think
and if it was, anything, I think it's ended. I think once the Democrats reopened it, had no concessions. I mean, you saw all the Democrats on the social media accounts freaking out about it because they knew that this is the thing. They're the ones voting no and smugly reinforcing how bad it looks for the Republicans that the government remains shut down.
Yeah.
While they vote no. And I've used this analogy before. If you and I are in a room and the temperature in the room is rising, right? And I go, oh, I'll just go open this window. And when I go to open the window, you come over and you stop and hold it down, right? And after 30 days, you finally say, okay, you can open it. It's my fault that the temperature kept rising in the room?
Well,
it's so obvious. And the fact that they battering ram us, oh, look how bad it looks for them. Conveniently right through an election cycle. Yeah, it might have gotten their base energized and out to go vote, but they're not going to be able to use that next year.
I don't think they did.
Pan out in a whole midterm election.
Yeah, I don't think they did. Let me. I went first of all. Nico Pluto. I wasn't typing. I was just moving my keyboard around. I didn't realize my mic was picking that up. My bad. I also was just kind of like tapping on some stuff. I didn't realize I had my gain turned up so much. Anyway, second thing. I think that they hosed themselves when this shutdown. The optics are terrible for the Democrats. Not only did they not get any concessions, I guess at all, but it was so apparent to the average American citizen because, and let's be fair, without platforms like X and YouTube and all of these other various platforms where mere mortals can cover and show things, right, and show the reality, I just don't see how it. I don't see how it hurt us. I think if anything, it really showed that the Republicans were willing to work. We kept saying, hey, this is the line in the sand. You need to come across it. We've already given too much, And I just think the optics were absolutely terrible for the lefties. Now, at the same time I say that, they did get Mandami, they did get the governor in Virginia, and they got another election. But those were already elections. I was already like, yeah, fuck it, we're not going to win those anyway. Who cares?
Well, yeah. Did anyone think that Mamdani won New York when he won the primary as a Democrat?
Yeah,
that's when he won. That's when he won the mayorship.
Right.
When we're talking about the government shutdown, people want to elaborate this to a nationwide effect, but really, we're talking about Virginia for the most part. Those were Virginia elections, a lot of them, and Virginia has a lot of federal workers. A lot of them are unhappy with the shutdown of the USAID, with a lot of the Doge stuff. A lot of them are not. Like, I can get Virginia, right? But like the idea that this government shutdown is going to passionately motivate people in Oklahoma or people in any other state that isn't surrounding DC, it's just, I think they threw everything they could at to get those elections, and they're underestimating that they're not going to be able to have that.
That's very insightful, because once you get and that's actually this is what's been losing the Democrat elections. Once you get outside of New York City, once you get outside of Washington, D.C., you start actually hearing what people are saying. And what people are saying is, we don't like any of this. This is all bad. And we don't like it. And so,
Yeah, I want to respond in chat, because I like this chatter. He's been in for a while. But
which one? Not Lowe's
people
2?
saw it. No. ML87.
The
average people saw it as Trump's shutdown. I think the average Democrat was going to parrot that narrative regardless. I don't think that ultimately people who are visibly watching the Democrats vote no, and here's the thing. Well, the Democrats caved. That was the big story that came out at the end. The Democrats caved. They finally voted yes. It's just hard to objectively blame the Republicans or Trump when the Democrats are voting no. They're the ones who ultimately caved and voted yes to reopen the government. I just don't see how the fence-sitting average voter that isn't going to choose a side based on where they already stand is going to be able to say, "Oh, this was Trump's fault. It was the Democrats. They're voting no. They're screaming about how important it is to open the government while they continue to vote no." And for what reason? Because they wanted to maintain negotiation power. And then what did they do with that negotiation power? They got through elections where they were smugly, "Oh, look how bad this is for them." And then they got nothing for it. They reopened the government. They caved and voted. They pissed off those voters who probably don't care and will still vote for them. I don't think that people changed their mind if they were already on the Democrat side of it. But I don't buy that anyone who's sitting there reasonably and objectively looking at this can say, "Oh, this was Trump's fault that it was shut down." When it's very obvious that the people voting no to not open the government, who ultimately voted yes to finally open the government, aren't the ones who held the government closed. That's just I can't even wrap my mind around how it objectively isn't that way. Like you guys are voting no, and then you vote yes, and then the government reopens. Like how it's like I don't even know how you justify it in your mind unless you're already a Democrat who wants to blame Trump and the Republicans for everything that happens.
I mean, that's very true, and I think it's an interesting dynamic that we have going on with the average American. I think I disagree, though. I think the average American saw the shutdown not as Trump playing politics, but the left playing politics. And you had a lot of great analysts out there, people that are now trusted and who do, pundits on social media, YouTube, X, all of these places, who were literally showing and explaining why the Democrats were doing, maintaining the government shutdown, why it was their fault, why all of this stuff was happening. Remember, we don't usually get that. We haven't gotten that very much. It's usually a story that ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox and CNN all tell you a version of the same story. But in this case, there's so much social media and there's so much access that it's harder for them to lie. It's harder for them to spin it. Although there's still people that put out fake ass shit that people will literally believe until it's proven false. And even then they still believe it. Right. And we see that with the Epstein files and things like that. It's, so that's really interesting. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens over the next year. Again, I think my projection is that Trump is going to, I think Trump's going to start a lot of rhetoric about younger, more capable politicians for president and vice president. I think he's going to really push. I personally think that he may start putting the ideas in people's heads at what what the qualifications for a good president should be. And, I think that's going to be very interesting to see. On the left, I think they've got a tough road to haul. That, especially if this Muslim loses the governor race in Georgia. Wow, dude, it's gonna be brutal for the left if they lose that. Brutal. It may be more brutal if they win it, but it'll be a longer burn. But it's going to be like thermonuclear warfare if the Muslim woman loses in Georgia, because what's going to happen is that especially if it's MTG that runs against her and MTG wins, it's going to be hilarious. It's going to be hilarious. The rhetoric on the right will be so strong about the affirmation of American values. They're going to talk about it's literally going to be repeated until the next until the 2026 election cycle. I don't understand how they think this is going to work. And I do have to wonder at the timing of MTG's exit. Right.
Yeah.
It seems very motivated.
I don't know. I'm going to say this at the risk of looking really stupid when she declares her run, but I don't get the vibe that she's planning to run.
Well, she may not. She may just be tired. I mean, she may just be tired of the
black-pilled as fuck, but
well, let's listen to Pearl Davis maybe.
Yeah. And Pete made a good point in chat. Republicans could have ended the shutdown earlier if they got rid of the filibuster, and maybe they should have done that. But ultimately, what it comes down to, as far as making concessions to the other side, the Republicans were 5 votes away. The other side needs 15. I mean, like, there's a clear majority on one side of it. Why should we have to make concessions?
Yeah, you know what?
We're the majority. And I think if it really comes to a heel and the issue now is, well, we need to keep the government open, I don't think the minority is really in a position to demand concessions like that. So I do think the Republicans could have ended the filibuster. That would have been nice. I'm glad they didn't concede. And ultimately, when we're talking about the government shutdown, the optics of the Democrats screeching and squealing about it, if they were serious and they really felt like all of that damage was, they really believed in all of the damages that were happening as a result of the government shutdown, they're the ones who ultimately opened it up again like that as soon as the elections were over. So it's just, as far as when people look back and think about it, I think it's going to be hard for them to pitch it as the Republicans' fault when ultimately...
See, I personally think the Republicans should have held out. I honestly think they should have gone for the entire 60 plus days, so where they could fire all of the government employees that they wanted to.
Well,
I think
this is kind of exactly the point that I'm making, though, right? Because the Republicans could have wanted it to be 60 days, but guess who was able to end it like that? The Democrats. Yeah. So how are you blaming the Republicans? The Republicans couldn't have kept it shut down if they wanted to. They were the ones voting yes 15, 16 times, however many times it was. It was up to the Democrats whether the government was going to be shut down or not. And despite all of the damages that they were arguing were happening as a result of the government shutdown, they were doing that because they valued the tiny sliver of negotiation power that they still have. And that's embarrassing.
Well, again, I was hoping that it would last longer. I'm shocked. I'm actually kind of shocked that they were able to so quickly move forward and end it. Once they decided to make it happen, I thought there'd be a lot more dancing, a lot more negotiation. But, but at any rate,
also why I bring up the fact that a lot of those elections were in Virginia. I don't think a lot of people noticed the government was shut down. If you're a federal worker, you noticed. If you live around DC, you noticed. If you live in Virginia, where a lot of federal workers do, you noticed. I don't think the average American is going to be going to vote next year and be like, remember when the government was shut down for a month last year? That shit really fucked me up. It's like, it's meaningless.
The SNAP deal, that was the only thing, but even that was getting handled.
True. Good point. Fair enough.
That was getting handled.
I'll concede that.
Yeah, yeah.
But also, that was very interesting to see what demographics were most affected by the SNAP pause. I'll leave it at that.
Right,
I'll talk about more of that on my channel. But
for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, it is almost 11 o'clock at night, and that's when I will sign off. However, before I do, I'm looking for someone to raid to. I think Emmett is live. I don't know what they're doing over there, but maybe we'll raid over to Emmett. If anybody has somebody else that's live that I could, maybe raid into them, that would be great. If not, I'm certainly not going to raid into Sarah when she has Ben Thorpe on. That's insane. Wouldn't do that. So yeah, come on, old timer. It's only 11. I always end my show at 11. So do a 3-hour show and call it. That's it. The Not Lowe's 2 is still rambling on. You got to admire the guy's spirit. Like it's rare to find somebody that is that wrong, but will just stick to it. Pentuple is not on YouTube. If Pentuple was on YouTube, I would raid Pentuple.
Yeah, maybe I'll get into live streaming over there. I've been on Kick and Twitch right now. I was trying to move my community from Twitch to Kick, and but I appreciate it. Thank you, Pete.
Yeah, I mean, I would 100% do it. So, give us a wrap up, Pentuple. Give us all your thoughts. We talked about we ranged a little bit tonight, but we kept it pretty close to where we wanted it.
Well, the Democrats are gay. They suck. They're losers. They're no good at anything.
They're
mad. They're big mad.
Big mad.
I think that this is the death of the party. I think one day we'll look at the Democratic presidential list from the last 50 years and go, yeah, I think Kamala and Biden were where that thing fell off the tracks. So that's just what I think. We'll see if it pans out. We'll see if maybe they recover. But this is what it would look like, I think, in real time, for that death of a party to start. It's hard for me to imagine a world where you don't have Republicans and Democrats. It's always been the standard in my lifetime. It's funny when you read in history and you read all these like the other parties, like the Whig Party and stuff like that. I'm like, somehow we ended up with Republicans and Democrats, and it doesn't look like we'll ever get away from that. But maybe we will, and who knows? But I'd wonder what it was like at the time when those parties were dying out and losing support. But anyways,
for sure.
Yeah.
You're not an atheist, are you, Pentuple?
No, I'm a Christian.
Yeah, Crusader. You must be talking about Not Lowe's 2. He's got to be talking about Not Lowe's 2.
Yeah, we didn't even get to religion.
Yeah.
And actually, you know what? I don't know if you've chosen someone to raid, but I'll go live on YouTube right now.
You'll go live on. I have, but I can change it. It's so easy.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'm gonna stay on for a little bit.
We're gonna raid you guys over to the mighty Pentuple, lawyer extraordinaire.
Yes. Attorney Penn on X. We do. I host MAGA headquarters. We've succeeded in our mission, and we are eager and excited to see what this evolves into for the future elections. I know we meme that Trump will run again in 2028.
Throw me that link
I do
in the
expect that will
private.
evolve.
Throw me that link in the private chat.
Oh, yes.
I'll get this going. I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving tomorrow. I hope you spend it with friends and family. And if you don't, I feel really bad. I feel sorry for you, and I wish there was something I could do to help you out. unfortunately probably isn't. However, I've spent many a Thanksgiving alone. It's a great time for reflection, a great time for some, just take a moment, take a deep breath, look around at the world, see how you can make your life better. And I like Thanksgiving. I mean, I wish it wasn't a holiday the way it is, but I like Thanksgiving for the most part.
I love it.
Did you send that?
I did. I messaged it to you.
Oh, you messaged me over on Discord.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I'm like waiting very patiently. So that's all right.
Oh, in private on here. Got you.
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
I know, right? It's not. I don't use the goofy Discord nonsense. So you can actually send real private messages.
Yes, it's in there now. You don't have to look for Discord if you don't want. We're going to ban Notlaws immediately once he gets.
You're going to ban him immediately?
Oh,
wow.
We do not keep these type of people around. We do not bother with them.
You don't bother with him? All right.
No.
Okay.
Not at MAGA headquarters. They're not welcome in our space.
Not wow. I'm a little more tolerant, a little more tolerant.
Yeah, no. With MAGA headquarters is what it is. You're here at MAGA headquarters. Why would we let subversive Canadians into the headquarters?
It's not even
this
MAGA.
Is our space.
You can't ever be MAGA.
This is where we got to make things and figure them out.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for me to go. I'm glad Pentuple was here. He had a great time, I can tell. For a little while there, we had the mighty Tyler on tonight, laying down the smack and probably doing some as well. He had to leave early. We didn't. Now we're here at the end of the show. It's been a good show tonight. Really had a great time. Really appreciate all the Raiders. Have a great Thanksgiving tomorrow. I have to go cook or prep for cooking. I got to get up at like 4 to pop that big ass turkey in the oven.
Yeah.
So you guys, that's right. That's what I'm talking about. You guys have a great evening. Hang out with Pentuple. He'll keep you entertained. He's going to talk a lot about MAGA, I bet. Maybe some economics, maybe some law. I don't know. It's going to be fun, though. I'm going to peace out here. You guys have a great rest of your night and enjoy your raid over to the great Pentuple. As always, be cool. Wear the glasses if you need them because it's important. And go stand on Pentuple's lawn.